a plan. Drop it for me.
I want to make something perfectly clear about this platform. I want to make clear that I am not, and this ministry is not about converting somebody to something. I don't want you to, I'm not trying to convert you to Islam or Christianity or Kemetic teachings or anything. I'm not trying to convert you to nothing. I have no problem with you being whatever you feel you need to be. That's not my issue. That's not what this platform is designed for. I'm not looking for followers. I'm not looking for slaves. I'm looking for those who are able, no matter where you find your mindset, you're able to open up your mind to different thoughts and possibilities and be creative in the struggle, because if we're not like that, since the enemy already knows past strategy, your past mindset, then it's easy for him to counter anything that you do. So you wondering why you're not being successful. You wondering why you're stalled. You wonder why you're not going nowhere, because you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And we know that's called insanity. And we don't want to look insane, do we, brothers and sisters? This platform simply reflects the liberation of dark-skinned people, not just those who are Kemetic, not just those who are Christian, not those who are Muslims. Liberation of a whole people, regardless to where they find themselves, because all of us deserve some damn happiness after going on 500 years of torture in this damn nation. Now, all these other technical stuff that y'all be tripping on, that's a problem. That's division. I'm not the divider. You're the divider because you want to make people what you are. The only thing I care about is your happiness, and I want you free from the oppressor. I don't care who you are, what you think. That's all I want. All this other technical stuff, win your liberation, and we can iron all this other stuff out. However, the mind must be liberated. If you don't liberate the mind, liberate the body, but you liberated the mind, what sense do it make if you're the same person in the toilet and go to a clean place? What sense does that make? You must change to be liberated. That's why many, I'm going to use Africa, the African nations for an example. After colonialism, they are still having lots of problems because they have the same mentality as the ones who oppress them. So you're defeating the whole purpose of being liberated. You're defeating the whole purpose of being free just to find another form of slavery. Now your slave master is another black face. So is you happy? Now that your slave master got dark skin, what difference do it make? This ministry represents liberation, period. You don't need a slave master. You don't need somebody to serve. Nobody, period. I'm even to the point where you don't have to serve gods and aliens and none of that stuff. You should be 1000% totally free. After 500 years or going on 500 years, you and I should be sick of serving and groveling and worshiping and laying down for somebody. Enjoy your life for a change. Now, if you want to be a slave, that's your business. But when you come here, I want your freedom. 1,000% freedom. Not 99, not 95%, not 80%. You're going to be free of all slave masters. Period. I'm not trying to force nothing on nobody. The only thing I come on this platform to do is to offer suggestions and advice. I don't want to teach you nothing because really most of us already know. So there's nothing to teach you. But many of us don't want to act on what we know or don't believe what we know because your brain guides you to what is right. Many of you don't want to be guided towards what's correct and what is necessary because you fallen in love with a belief that you read in some book or some fancy DVD or something like that. Again, going back to those things that have not worked. They have not changed your condition. They don't work. So again, we continue to look like insane trying to put a round peg in a square hole. It's not going to work. But you want to keep trying, that's your business. I'm not mad at you. But when you continue to fail, just blame yourself. Don't blame me because I'm telling you, it's not going to work. It might have had some success in the past, true, but it failed. When it's all said and done, it's a failure. We don't want to continue to fail. We want to win. Once you start getting those wins under your belt, you'll start feeling good. Oh, man. Now, this is a trip, Brother Craig. Can't you, this computer talk about it wants to shut down.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously? I mean, what's going on? Like some type of update? Some type of updates going on?
Yeah, something like that. You
yeah,
know,
I'm kind of thrown off, man, about tonight because originally, like, I had a couple different topics, like a couple different things that I wanted to throw out in the air, you know, for us, you know, you, me, and my brother Guy, you know, to discuss. But now, since we were having like some, you know, the show got postponed.
Yeah.
You know, and then after that, we had so much difficulty even getting it started. I mean, it's getting late already.
Yeah, and you know, so far, I mean, right now it's just you and I here. So right now, and now the computer, you know, I was on another computer, switched to this computer, and now I talk about it's getting ready to shut down.
Oh, so it's getting ready to shut down. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like you don't have any way to stop it.
It usually it gives you an option, you know, 5 hours from now or whatever. It's not even giving me an option. Let me see. Okay, hold up. Let me see. Maybe I can stop. Okay, maybe I can stop it. Oh, man. See, this is a new computer, and I don't really know exactly how this thing.
Yeah, that's how it operates. Yeah.
Man, let me try something here.
I mean, it's cool. You know, I'm looking forward to, you know, doing this, you know, like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
You know, we have to go through, you know, the little kinks and stuff, iron the kinks out, you know, but we'll eventually get there. You know, we'll eventually get to the point to where, you know, we can do a broadcast, everything will run smoothly. You know, we won't have all these technical, you know, issues and all of that type of stuff, man. We can grow this into something great. You know, we can grow this into something great, man. I mean, at least that's what I'm here for, man. Just something really told me to reach out towards you because, you know, I've been following you, man, for quite some time.
Yes, sir.
Like, because I love the information that you put out there. And it's like nobody delivers it the way that you do. Like the way you just have something like as far as like a delivery, like the way you deliver messages and stuff. So I just figured like, man, I mean, this good brother, man, he just speaks so good. Like, I mean, he's always saying like the truth. Like, I've learned a lot just listening from you, like over
Yes, sir.
what the past 7 years
Yes, sir.
or whatever. So basically, I just was thinking to myself, like, man, why am I not like linked up with this brother? Like, why? You know, I mean, am I gonna wait till I'm old and gray? You know, time is not gonna wait for me.
That's right.
So
That's
it's
right.
like I just want to, link up with all my brothers and stuff, man, So, but I mean, tonight, man, things are like kind of hectic because like
That's right.
like I had a couple I actually had like a couple of different topics that I wanted to bring to the table because my brother Guy was like
Yeah.
really looking forward to talking to you
Yes,
because
yes,
me
sir.
and him, yeah, me and him, we're starting to Google Hangout. And
Yes,
then
sir.
when you said you and that sister Rashida Strober, we're doing y'all thing, I was thinking, man, possibly we could, link up together,
Yeah, we all can
just
still,
build.
yeah, we
Yeah.
all can still link up together because I prefer coming in on the deal than actually like being a host. And that's
Yeah.
that's
Right.
not that's not my thing. I love it. You remember you had Blog Talk,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you do your thing. You know how to do that.
Right.
That's something
That's
that
some
you
expertise.
are beautiful at doing.
Yeah.
And
It's too much of a hassle for some people. I know what you mean.
yeah, but
Like
for
going through all
me,
this stuff. Yeah.
really, like I was telling Sister Rashida on our last hangout, really, see, I'm a listener. I'm more so a listener than a speaker, really. So that's why when I talk about something, I've listened to what you had to say. I've examined it. I'm listening to you. I'm not hearing you. I'm listening to what you have to say. But I find certain problems here. And again, some people get very upset over things, but I'm not mad at anybody. My whole 10 years, December, it will be 10 years. I've never gotten upset with anybody who disagreed with anything that I had to say. Never. I never called you a coon, an agent, Uncle Tom's, and all this other crazy stuff. People have the right to disagree. Now, you have these persons. It's thousands and hundreds of these people. You have an idea. Okay, y'all work your idea. I'm just sitting back in the cut. I want to see you be successful. But it's not working. Why isn't it working? I'm telling you why it's not working, because you're out of date. You need to be creative. You call yourself the original man. Well, be original. Be creative. The enemy knows the enemy knows how to deal with protests. Right now in the St. Louis area, we got protests going on. They know how to deal with that stuff now. They know how to deal with the angry Negro. They know how to deal with boycotts. They know how to deal with all that stuff that we've done in the past, marches. They know how to deal with all this stuff. Be original. Come in a direction they've never seen before. Use your brain. Use the tools.
That's what I try to do. I try to get black people to understand. Like, a lot of black people think today, in this day and time, that we have it better than our ancestors had it.
No.
But if you look on the news, man, like, black people are still getting killed. They might not be dying, at the end of a noose.
Right.
But it's like, the police, the judges, like, they're the new Ku Klux Klan. I mean, we as black people ourselves contribute to a lot of, black on black genocide.
Yes.
Like, if you look in Chicago, like, there's brothers dying, at least 3 to 4 brothers dying almost every day there. So the lynchings haven't stopped.
Right.
The lynchings haven't stopped. White men are still being acquitted. We're getting away with cold-blooded murder.
Yes.
Over the youth, the elders, our sisters. I mean, just everything. It's like marches, like all of these marches. Like, me, you, and my other brother, we wanted to see how did you feel about the NFL boycott or whatever. That was one thing we were gonna be trying to speak on, but we'll touch on that.
Yeah.
Because I know my brother, like, he was really, he's real deep off into that subject or whatever. And I had a couple, I had my little 2 cents to give to it. And, I know you probably would have a little something to say about it.
Well,
but
a lot of issues, I'm gonna tell you, Brother Craig, a lot of issues I'm really not concerned about because, see, my primary objective, and just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, but it has to be an option. Separation has to be an option. And there are those who are attacking me right now because they're very upset because I represent and advocate separation. But it's the natural thing to do. It's the natural thing to do when somebody is trying to cause you harm, is to separate away from them. And really, in a lot of cases, your relationship actually becomes better. I've seen people who go through a divorce and they are actually better friends separated than they were as a married couple. There's nothing wrong with separation. They act like there's something wrong with separation. Well, where y'all gonna go? What you gonna do? The first thing that you have to do, you first must want to separate. If you don't want to separate, what's the sense of talking about it? You have to want to go. You know, it's just like being in prison. When it's time to escape, if you have a plan or something, that's really beautiful and whatever. But if you get an opportunity and find a way out, you don't hear prisoners talk. I mean, it's nice to have a plan, but if for some reason something opened up, you got to go. You have to get away from those that's trying to cause you harm. You know, you're not going to try to get close to a porcupine when you know that porcupine can stick you with some damn needles. That's how it is living in America. You don't want to continue to try to pet and be nice to the porcupine. You're getting stuck with these damn needles. There's nothing wrong with trying to get away from that which causes you harm. Now, the problem is, like I told you, the first problem is you have to want to go. The main problem is once you go, if you're going to be the same person that you was when you left, you might as well stay where you're at. Might as well, because it defeats the purpose of leaving. Also, in a lot of cases, when you have a man and woman going at each other, and one of them say, well, I'm leaving the relationship, sometimes that makes the relationship better because that person really don't want the other one to go, and they'll straighten out and try to do better to keep that relationship going. Now, see, Caucasian people don't really take us serious when we talk about them Negroes ain't going to go nowhere anyway. They love me too much. They ain't going nowhere. They depend on me too much. You want to know something, brother? When I was locked up and they was talking to me like that, and I told them, I said, look, I don't care if I have to sleep in the ditch with mosquitoes that carry malaria. I don't want to be in here with you. See, that's the way you have to be. Because, see, I know once I get away from you, I'm confident in myself. I'm not going to always be in the ditch with the mosquitoes that carry malaria. That's the bottom line. We don't have that kind of confidence. And the reason why we don't have that kind of confidence is because we are the descendants and the children of those back in the day, after chattel slavery. Remember, the government, well, I don't think it actually was the government, but there was a group of Caucasian people that offered the free slaves, said, look, y'all can stay here and deal with the crap that we're going to put on you, or you can take your chances on the continent of Africa, and y'all can go and do, if you make it or you don't. And so there was a group of us, our real ancestors. I don't know about all these other people that they talk about. You never talk about your real ancestors for a fact. And that's those people that live in the country of Liberia. They went over there. They were slaves. They didn't know what to do, but you see, they made it. We are the descendants of those. I'm going to stay with my massa because I's an American. I belong here. I'm going to make it with these suckers. And we've been catching hell ever since. Ever since. The drive. We're scared to leave an abusive relationship. We're the children of those who decided to stay with the racists. So I understand. I mean, it don't bother me. I understand why you depend on your massa mentality. I'm not angry with you. It's a scary thing when you've never been free to let go. You know, when you depend on somebody to live, and then all of a sudden you get cut off. That's a scary thing. There's a lot of people, they get very upset if you cut off the welfare check, cut off unemployment, cut off all these different things they used to. They'll go berserk. How I'm gonna take care of myself? What I gonna do?
That's right. I got a quick question for you. Concerning Liberia. And is that, of course, yes, we as a nation, we have no place over here in America. But I just wonder, do you think that we as a people are strong enough to come together as a nation? Because if you take Liberia for an example, like the African Americans that went over to that country, they went over to that country with the European mindset.
Right.
And they tried to enslave the native Africans over there in that area. Like, even if you look at Haiti after the Haitian Revolution, like almost every like it seems like black leadership, like once the black man gets into leadership, he gets greedy, he gets corrupt, and he becomes an exploiter of his own people.
Right.
So what do you like I'm at a standstill right now, because it's almost like, I mean, if we separate, like we're between a rock and a hard place.
Right. Absolutely.
Like that.
You're right. You're right.
Because of corruption and greed. Go ahead, brother.
That's why I stand upon 1000% liberation of the mind. You have to change your whole mindset. You can't continue with the mindset that we have. Otherwise, the only thing you'll be doing is just changing the place and the slave master. That's the only thing you'll be doing. So what's the purpose? And you're absolutely right. The people, you must change your mindset. And that's what it's all about. The mindset that we have right now, if the people with the Kemetic mindset, they will become slave masters and owners. Because they have that type of mindset. You will believe and you will act and you will do what I want you to do. Your life will benefit what the leadership puts forth. That's slavery. The same thing with the Nation of Islam, you will be a slave. Same thing with the Hebrew Israelites, you will be a slave. All these things that we rally around and foam at the mouth about, it's all nothing but slavery, except the slave master has a black face, and I guess that makes you happy. I don't want a black slave master. I don't want a white slave master, Chinese slave master. If I have to have a slave master, I would rather be dead. So just dig me some dirt and just drop me in the dirt. Don't even put me in a coffin. Just dig the dirt up and throw me in the hole. Get me in the dirt fast as possible, because I'm not going to be your damn slave. And that's the problem a lot of people have with me, because they think I'm going to be your slave. I am not going to be a slave, and I'm not going to suggest to nobody to enter the realm of slavery, no matter who the slave master is or what form it comes in. I'm not going to support or advocate that, period. I want you free. I want you liberated. I want you to live a happy life. You deserve to be happy, man. You deserve, after 500 years of hell, you deserve to be in a position to be able to enjoy your mother, your father, your children, your aunts and uncles. Go to a plum tree, grab you a fresh plum, and eat it fresh from the tree. You don't have to worry about insecticides and all like that. And drink some fresh water out of a spring. Come on, enjoy your life. You don't have to worry about, at 5 o'clock, I gotta go pray to somebody. At 6 o'clock, I gotta go serve somebody. The hell with that stuff. That's not life. Life is being free. If you ever watch a bird, it's, oh man, I love nature. Bird act. The bird be in the tree, and they just fly in the air, and then they just do their thing. They don't ask nobody for nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's the way we need to be. You don't have to, the bird don't have to worry about going to the grocery store, an unemployment check, or a bird business. You know, all that crazy stuff. You know, working for somebody, that ain't nothing but slavery too. When we used to work, when ancient people used to work, they worked for the benefit of the whole. It wasn't for a job to make a certain group or a person rich. Having a job is slavery. Nothing but another form of slavery. That's all it is. Everybody's supposed to work for the benefit of the whole, not having a job so this person can be a billionaire and this person can be a zillionaire and all this old crazy stuff that we go through. You know, every morning people get up rushing to go to their damn slave job. Even Caucasian people, everybody on the planet should be sick of living that type of lifestyle. Then by the time you get a chance to enjoy your life, you're an old man, all your hair falling out, you got arthritis, your heart getting ready to conk out on you, and you done worked all your life for somebody else. That's slavery. When your life benefits somebody else, that's slavery. You work 30 years at Ford. Oh, they pay you good at Ford. You got this big old house or whatever. But by the time you enjoy your life, you don't have no health. You can't enjoy nothing. You're all run down. And by the time you're 65, if you're not dead already, you be wishing you was dead. How in the hell is that life? Is that life, Brother Craig?
No,
is that life?
No, it's definitely
That's not
no.
life. That's not life to me. The whole thing must change. I want you to enjoy your life. You don't have to keep working all the. See, first of all, it's what you want in your life. You know, all these people, they want all these material things. For what? You can't put this stuff in the ground with you. But here they are, they working to death for material things. They want this big house and all like and cars and all this kind of stuff. For what? You have the wrong attitude. You falling in love with material things. Who gives a damn about these cars and houses and all that stuff? But see, that gives you value because you don't see the value in your own life. I don't give a damn about houses and cars and all. You know what I give? When you and your brother or anybody else come to my channel, you are the one that I care about. You give me value. When you decide that I'm nothing, then that's when I'll become a nothing. My value is based on my love for you and your love for me. I don't care about the house and the cars. If I get sick, a car can't do a damn thing for me. But I can get on the phone and say, Brother Craig, brother, I know you're in another state. Could you come help me, man? I'm in trouble. That's living life when you have real brotherhood and real sisterhood. And I don't care. We don't have to believe in the same thing. I could care less about what you believe. Who cares about that kind of stuff? The only thing I want to know, not believe, I want to know that you're my brother. I want to know that you're my sister. That's the kind of life that I want to live. And when I die, when you put me in the grave, I know somebody cared about me. That's what I care about.
Yeah, you were actually like one of the first like pro-black conscious like YouTube channels that I found. Like when I first started like searching, like back before Umar Johnson, back before, you know, Irritated Genie.
All
like
those guys.
Even Sarah Suit and Seti. You know, you were like one of the first ones that I saw out there, like just putting out the information. But one thing that I wonder about sometimes is the state of the conscious community, because it seems like black consciousness has become like a fad almost.
Yes.
To the point, I mean, I've been in this, man, you know, for years, but it just seems like on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, everybody's black conscious. Everybody's consciously aware. But when you go out into the black community, you don't see that.
No.
Like, I don't know. I don't get it, man. Like, I just don't get it. Like, everybody's conscious on...
Brother Craig. See, also, they're not putting in the work. See, when I was in the Nation of Islam, I put in the work. People in my community saw me all the time. All the time. Now, you want to promote black conscious or whatever it is, the only one that I really see it really putting in the work, spreading their message, and a lot of people don't like them, but it's those, you know, Hebrew Israelites. They're the only ones that's really still on the corner doing, you know, doing what they do. You might see the Nation of Islam guys out there now and then. When I was in the Nation of Islam, we was out there all the time.
That's all you see in my city.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see anybody, any other subset of any type of conscious group. The only, like, I actually ran across one of my brothers today that's in the Nation of Islam. They're the only ones that are out there, at least in this city. I stay in a small city. It's not very diverse where I'm at.
But they don't even work.
Basically, the Nation of Islam.
Yeah, but they don't work like they used to, because in the city of Chicago, Louis Farrakhan in the black community should be running it. They should be running Chicago. But they're not putting in the work. They'll do something for a few minutes, and then they'll stop. And that's the history. See, I know the history of the Nation of Islam. I was part of it since the 1980s. What they do is they'll do something for a few minutes and then they'll stop. I'm like, what? What you stopping? What? We had something good going on. They'll stop. That's not how, you know, it's like when you having a fight. When you boxing with somebody, whatever, you can't just stop. Because if you just stop, your opponent just get to blasting you upside your head, hitting you all up. You can't just stop when you're in a fight. As long as that person is fighting, you got to keep your fists up. You got to keep punching. You got to keep striking. As soon as you put your fist down, they're going to bust you one. But these people, they get tired. And then when you messing with soul brothers and sisters, they'll fight against you. But see, this is what I learned about us. They will fight you in the beginning, but if you're consistent and they see that you are sincere, they'll begin to support you. That's why Malcolm was successful, because they saw that he was consistent and he was sincere, and they started backing Malcolm. That's why Malcolm was so successful, because they saw he was an honest man, and they could, you know, you don't fool nobody. They could feel that Malcolm loved them. You can't fool. See, these people think just because you run around here, black power and whatever, you think that you fooling somebody. People know when you love and care for them for real. They know that. The Nation of Islam should be run in Chicago. That's their headquarters. They should be #1 in the soul community, but they're not. They're not, because the #1 thing they're trying to do is convert people to their religion, and our people as a whole, we're not going to become Muslims. That's just the bottom line. Not going to do it. So you're messing up right there. You trying to convert people instead of caring for the community. You trying to get converts to a damn religion, hiding behind black liberation. That's not going to work. They feel you. They're not stupid. You know something? I'll tell you. When I was in the Nation of Islam, I had a gun put to my head by a gang member. And the gang member decided, because I had heart. I said, well, you have to shoot me dead, bro, because I still love you. I love black folks in this community. He thought I was crazy. He said, man, you ain't even worth it. Then they started coming to the temple. And the only one who they really talked to was me, because they saw that I was out there working my butt off, and I was sincere, and I really cared for the community. That's what you have to do. You have to win the people's heart. You have to win their love. You have to do the work, and they will support you. But you also have to be successful in what you do. The Nation of Islam is not showing no success. None of these people out here, they have thousands of followers, getting a lot of money, and they have nothing to show for it. I wish they would support me the way they do these others, because I'm going to show you something. I don't care if it's a bubble gum machine. I'm going to show you what I'm doing with your money and your time and your hard work. You're going to be earning something. That's just the bottom line.
But you know what I've noticed? It's like black people, they aren't drawn, well, a lot of them, the masses of black people don't seem to be drawn to just straight up knowledge. Like a lot of them, we chase after controversy. We like controversy. We like, that's why the debates are so successful, you know, things like that. But like when you got somebody like yourself, or like even me, for an example, like when you just like kick something just knowledgeable, like when you like something positive.
Right.
It seemed like a lot of black people, they're just not into that. But like, remember like the Sarah Suit Seti, Umar Johnson beef.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just idiotic stuff like that, man, just gets like so much attention. You know? Like when, just idiotic little beefs and stuff like that just get so much attention. But like when you got somebody like yourself that's really trying to help black people, like, you know, that just shows a lot about just the mental, you know, condition of, you know, the masses of black people right there.
Well, you know, and
it just goes to show, like, go ahead, speak on it, bro.
He's all right, but he denies his Africanness. You know, that's what they tell me all the time. Yeah. It's not about what I deny.
I want to speak on that a little bit.
It's about do you want to be liberated from an oppressor? All that stuff is not my priority. When you get liberated, you're gonna let the real scholars. I'm not talking about these guys that have books around behind their backs and whatever. Let our real scholars deal with what happened to us when they become liberated. Because if you're still a slave, that means you're still getting slave information. You're not getting the real deal anyway. You're not getting real information. You're getting some feel-good kind of crap. And I'm not only talking about dark-skinned people, but Europeans and China. Everybody is not really getting the real deal because governments censor and they taint information. Using Adolf Hitler as an example, Adolf Hitler and the Nazis used science, they used history to verify and support their position. But we know they was in error, we know they was wrong. But they had science, they had history. And that's the same thing with us. We got science, we got history. But we have to remember, governments taint stuff. Scientists and historians and biologists, all of our scholars and people, they really cannot do their job because they have people in power looking over them and telling them this is the way that this has to be presented. They can't tell you the truth of nothing because governments, nations have personal agendas that they're trying to promote. They want to show, they want to control the mindset of the people to think and act and look at things in a certain way that they believe they should. Another example, I was watching a YouTube video, and it was talking about Egypt and how this king, I don't know which Egyptian king Pharaoh is supposed to have been, but he went out, had a war with one of the neighbors of Egypt, and the neighbor kicked him in the ass, but he went back and he told the press and those who was writing the history, that's not what you're gonna tell. You're gonna tell the people that I went in by myself. Now, this is how crazy his story was. He's gonna tell them to report that he went in by himself, and that's the reason why they lost the battle, because he was by himself, but he still gave a hard, he fought real hard and to make himself sound great. But see, that goes to show you that the information was tainted, when the reality was his people went out, tried to do whatever they did, they got their butt kicked and they ran back to Egypt. That was happened. But according to the way they wrote the history, because government and the king told the people, the historians and the scholars and the media, whatever the media was back there, no, this is what you're gonna write. We know what the truth is. So the people can continue to look at the Pharaoh, this great, fantastic super guy. So we have to, knowledge, the knowledge that we're getting, you have to take and consider it's filled with fallacy. It has error and it has flaw because it's under the control. It's going through the hands of others before you even get to it. Why do they want to mess with it? Because they have these agendas. So I'm going to skip all of that, and I just want us to use common sense and logic and reason. And if you do that, you will begin to see, well, that don't sound right. That don't sound right. That don't make any sense. Because it don't make sense. The information that we're getting is tainted. To make it sound pro-white or make it sound pro-black. Make it fit the slave that you want. I'm not into that. I want you free. I want your mind liberated.
Okay,
and
brother.
Once we get, yeah.
Wait a second. I missed. Okay. My brother said he just texted me again. He said his plugin is installed. He said, could you please send him one more invite?
Do it again.
Yeah.
I don't see why he can't. Look like he should be able to get on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But he texted me again. His email address. Let me know when you're ready for it, and I'll tell you.
I think I already got it.
Okay.
I think I remember.
Yep. GUYEDST at excite.com.
And you notice my computer didn't shut down. I guess I found the right. I guess I found the right thing to stop it.
Because he's definitely eager to get into this conversation. You know?
I know he is. I know he is. I like him.
Yeah, man, he's cool. I've been knowing him, man, since, man, like almost as long as I start following you. You know, he's from the old school, like way back. You know, when I first started my Facebook page, I think man, this had to be. Wow,
which Facebook page? Didn't you have 3 or 4 of them towed down?
Yeah, well, the one with the Malcolm X, picture, that's my original Facebook page. I ended up getting that back. That's the one where I have Dr. Umar Johnson as my friend. Like I got like a lot of people.
Right.
Like on that page. That's my original page. But yeah, I've had YouTube accounts terminated. Like that's why, man, I don't mess with YouTube anymore that much like that. That's why I don't even like I was just thinking about, man, creating a script to make a video, man, but it's like everything I put up gets deleted. Like
they silly at YouTube. I'm the only one that took them suckers to court. And actually it was fun. I might do it just for the hell of it one day. It was fun. You know, Caucasian people are supposed to be so damn smart. But to me, it's very stupid. Why would you spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars going to court over a YouTube service that you give people for free? And I'm still here. It's not like you can keep me off. I'm still here. Right.
Yeah. And, so what was the outcome? What was the outcome of that case?
Oh, the outcome, I came very close to winning, but I could not prove that I was Angelsnupnup7. The judge said, "How do we know you're Angelsnupnup7?" See, back in the early days, I didn't know how to screen save, and I didn't know how to save information or nothing like that.
Right.
So I didn't have no information. I couldn't prove that I was Angelsnupnup7. And plus, I mean, come on, these people work together, whatever. Okay, whatever, Judge.
See, the problem that YouTube has with us, man, is like they have a narrative that they're pushing. They have a narrative that they're pushing. And anybody that goes outside their little box and tries to challenge the narrative that they're trying to push to the people, like we automatically become an enemy.
Right.
I mean, anything that's telling, like, I mean, they don't care less, man. Videos of black people fighting, calling women bees and hoes, and and all that stuff, promoting drug usage. Hey, that can stay up there all day. But when it comes to somebody that's really trying to wake up, the mind of black people, that's what they have a problem with, man. I mean, that's why I get pissed at YouTube, man. It's like sometimes I don't even want to, like, I just want to delete my account, man, just stay away from it, man, because it's a racist site.
It is. No doubt.
Yeah.
But I stayed on YouTube because I didn't want them to think they was running me off. If I decide to leave YouTube, it's because I wanted to, not because your ass gonna harass me and force me and make me get off the site. It's not gonna be because of that. Because I decided I don't want to do it no more. Right. I didn't want people to think that, or YouTube believe that they can just run me off like that. No, I'm not going to go nowhere. When I decide to leave, I'm leaving on because I want to, not because of your ass. This site is free, and as long as it's free, I got lots of computers I can use. My voice is going to be heard.
That's right.
You bastards.
They don't too much mess with you now, do they? Like as far as like
I think they mess with my views. They don't allow my because back early, even when people didn't know me back in 2007, I could easily get 300 views. Easily.
Right.
And now, 40, 45, 100 views, whatever. I'm laughing at they have to be messing with my views. But I don't care, because clearly the people still listening to me. And plus now I'm hooked up with Facebook. So, I mean, I'm still rolling. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to announce, for those who are still listening, enemies and friends, that slowly but surely, I mean, people are coming to the reality's temple. And the reason why they are coming to the reality's temple, because they are becoming sick They're disappointed in black conscience and all this other stuff that y'all got going on. They're getting sick of. They see that it's a road going to nowhere. They see that. So they come in to hear something different. And that's what I keep telling you. You can have those things, but you have to, your whole approach has to become original. You have to become more creative. But you're not. You're doing the same thing that Marcus Garvey did. People keep putting the same, Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey, I love both of those brothers, but they are dead. Dead people cannot help you. I don't care how many pictures that you put up of Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X, they cannot help us. When I open up some of my videos in the name of my ancestors, first of all, when I say in the name of my ancestors, I really don't know exactly who they are, but whoever they are, I give them respect. All of them. I don't care if there was a drunkard. I don't care if there was a drug addict or whore or whatever they supposed to be, a pharaoh or whatever. I give respect to all those who came before me, not these special cliques. Oh, the kings and the queens and whatever. The hell with all like that. I'm not impressed by kings and queens. So what? So what? You was a king and a queen. Who gives a damn? My question to those who talk about this king and queen stuff is, were they good kings or were they good rulers? Or were they nothing but slave owners? So that royalty stuff don't mean nothing to me, because chances are, when you look at Egypt, all that stuff, the pyramids and all that stuff that you're looking at, that was not dedicated to the people of Egypt. It was dedicated to the rich and the royalty. The poor Egyptians couldn't even get mummified. They couldn't afford it. That's right. They couldn't afford to get mummified. So I'm not into all that materialistic and all that stuff like that. I don't care about that mess.
See, that's what I like about you. You know, you're down to earth and you are there for the people, because like a lot of these like conscious dudes or whatever, like I got personal experience with this. A lot of them, man, like you try to connect with them and link up with them, like they won't even get back with you. Like I'm not gonna say no names or anything like that, but they put themselves above the people. They put themselves above the people. What I like about you, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't put yourself above the people. You know, I'm not above you. You list your telephone number publicly. You know? Yeah,
you can call me right now, anybody.
Right.
And you know something, Brother Craig? People have called me. They call me just to talk. I've talked, Brother Craig, I have talked to people I talked to a sister for 8 hours, man. It was a sister, she was going through a divorce. She called me from Washington, D.C. And I told her, I said, look, I'm not that kind of minister. I don't teach Christianity. I'm not no mood. She said, I just like the way you talk. And she just started talking. I talked to this sister for 8 hours, man. Straight. She was hurting over her divorce.
Right.
So, you know, I talk to the people. People call me all the time just to talk. I might not never hear from them again, but they call me. I think it's an honor. Out of all the thousands and millions of people on the planet, you would call me because you feel in pain, you feeling hurt, and you want to let me hear, you know, get that off your chest and let me listen to what you have to say.
Right. And the reason I was saying I won't say any names, because like I'm not trying to get drawn off into no YouTube beefs, because it's a lot of people out here, like a lot of these so-called conscious dudes, man, like that's what they live for. Yeah. They live for, you know, starting these YouTube beefs, you know, and all of that stuff, man. But it's a lot of cockiness going around. Like, but I really don't like it.
Just to get it out of their system. I said, look, let's get all this beef stuff, debate stuff out of your system. Look, I would take all of you guys on, and we debate till the last man fall and get it all out the system. Now what you want to do? What you want to do to progress, really make a progress and move the people forward? Because these debates, if they're not leading to something that's tangible for the people can feel and touch and see, it don't mean nothing. Well, you do see, because Sonetta driving a Rolls Royce, I heard.
Oh yeah. Last I saw, he was driving a Mercedes, and he was talking about getting Yeah, he was talking about getting a Jaguar. And he said this last night, and I will say this because he made this public. What he said last night was he went from selling crack to the people to selling consciousness to the people. So basically, consciousness is a product.
It's a product. Right.
It's a product that can be sold, and he can, prosper from. And I mean, hey.
And see, that's why
I don't look at it like that.
That's why those guys don't really want nothing to do with me, is because, see, if you get behind what I'm talking about and you begin to see where I'm coming from, all those DVDs, all those books, all the information don't mean nothing no more. So that means so what are you going to sell? There's nothing that the people can really buy, because all those books that you're talking about, they don't mean nothing no more. And clearly, they haven't done what they're supposed to do. You're still a damn slave living in America. I want you liberated. I've never seen nowhere in history where reading a damn book gonna liberate anybody. You're gonna have to take drastic, what they say, drastic times call for drastic measures or something like that, whatever. See, we are in a messed up situation. And you must put violence. You must put violence on the table. It must be an option. There's no oppressed people on the planet that became free and liberated, and you didn't have violence in the equation. He's in the house.
Okay, my brother Guy is in the building.
Woo!
Wow, finally, man.
He's in the house. Yeah. Woo!
Yo, you know what?
Hey.
I had to use Google Chrome.
Yeah, I told you Google Chrome.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Brother is in the house, man.
What up, everybody? Guy in Hollywood.
Hey.
In the building. In
Yes,
the building.
sir. Welcome to the Realities Temple, Angelsnupnup7 live.
It's a pleasure to be here, my brother.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure to see you in person, man. What's up?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Hanging in there.
Wow. I love brotherhood, man.
Definitely, all day, all day.
I love it. I love this brother Craig, man. This man been around. Oh. Woo, brother Craig, ain't we been through some stuff, man?
Yeah, definitely, bro. I mean, I've been, but like brothers like, you two, man, would keep me going, because if it wasn't for brothers like you two, man, like constantly out here, still putting out the information, not compromising, staying true to, the message that we need to deliver to the black man. Brothers like me, man, probably would have gave up a long time ago.
Yeah,
just
that's
for
what they want us to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they want us to do. They want us to give up. They want us to get off the path, But first of all, I cannot do it because this is the way I've been all my life. Ever since I was a child. When I read the teachings of Elijah Muhammad for the first time, something just clicked in my head. I don't know what it was, but it was just something. I want to be part of the struggle. I want to fight. Now here's a little sissy boy. I'm a little sissy boy. I don't know how to fight. I was raised around women. I was raised around women. I did have, my father and uncles, but nobody did men things with me. Nobody showed me how to box or take me fishing or play back. Nobody did nothing with me. So, I'm trying to learn how to be a man, basically, from reading Elijah Muhammad's books and trial and error. I know I wasn't a girl, that's for sure. But when I first read Message to the Black Man in America, and at that time when I was a little boy, growing up in Mississippi, our own people was making mockery of our skin color. So here I am, a little boy, barely 7 years old, 8 years old, whatever, and black folks was making mockery of their skin color. Even my mother was talking about how ugly I was. You look like your ugly black ass bastard daddy or whatever. Now, to give you an idea of how dark skinned my mother is, my mother's nickname was Soot. Do you know what soot is?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, soot is that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, soot is that stuff, like when you burning coal and wood in the oven, and that black stuff is up in the crowd. That's how dark skinned my mother was. They called her Soot for a nickname.
Wow.
Here's a woman, black like soot, and she got the nerve to talk about me. That goes to show you the self-hatred. So it was Elijah Muhammad's teachings, when I first was introduced to those teachings, that taught me how to love my black self, because here I am, a little boy, and I'm wondering, how can I make myself lighter? You know, I didn't know nothing about bleach, but I was wondering, what could I do to get rid of this? And it was Elijah Muhammad's teaching. And I grew up actually during Jim Crow. I didn't really know about all this civil rights stuff and things that was going on. Elijah Muhammad taught me what was going on. There was nobody that taught me what was going on, you know, in my life, that was going on around me. Reading Elijah Muhammad's book was telling, you know, he was talking about the civil rights movement and Dr. King and slavery. You know, it was my introduction to those teachings that opened my mind up to what was going on around me, because nobody, none of the adults, nobody was teaching us children nothing in the backwoods of Mississippi. Nobody was doing nothing for it. So, you know, I always have to give honor to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for that. Do I agree with everything that he has said or done since that time? No. But he will always have a place in my heart, because I guarantee you, if it was not for those teachings, chances are I wouldn't be speaking to you right now. He's the one that kicked it off. Do I owe Elijah Muhammad my life? No, I do not. If you save me and I owe you my life, I would prefer that you let me drown. That's what I would prefer you to do, because I don't owe you my life. You're supposed to save somebody's life because you care about them, not because you want them to do you some special favors or they owe you something. That's how it's supposed to go. So, yeah, but Elijah Muhammad will always have a place in my heart, even Minister Farrakhan, because in the 80s, it was Minister Farrakhan. Really, Minister Farrakhan was the powerhouse of the 80s. You know, if it was not for Minister Farrakhan and what he was doing during the early 80s, all these other people that y'all hear talking about, they would not exist. It was Minister Farrakhan that kicked off the rebirth of the black conscious stuff. Nobody was listening to nobody during the 80s. It was the Nation of Islam, and next to the Nation of Islam was the Hebrew Israelite nation, and I think they actually, this branch of the Hebrew Israelite nation actually, I think they actually went to the state of Israel. I think they all packed up their bags and went to the state of Israel. I think that's what happened to them. And after they left, all these other offshoots of the Hebrew Israelite stuff, I don't know about that. But yeah, Mr. Farrakhan was a bad guy. I don't know what happened to that man. But, you know, me and him began to fall out because of certain things. I didn't really like what was going on with the monies. And then he talked about Malcolm X. I didn't even know who Malcolm X was. I said, who is this Malcolm X guy? Because he was talking, in the 80s, Minister Farrakhan was talking about Malcolm X really, really bad. And I didn't know who the man was. So I did my own research, because that's just who I am. I don't go by what somebody said. And I began to do my own research, and I'm like, y'all did this man real bad. And my relatives, I have relatives that's in the Nation of Islam. No, Malcolm was a traitor. I said, no, you guys are wrong. You did this man you did wrong. I stand with Malcolm. If you don't like it, you can kick me out the Nation of Islam. They didn't really want to kick me out of the Nation of Islam. I was a bad boy. Brother Craig, I was a bad boy in the Nation of Islam. I was doing the job. You didn't have to ask me to do nothing. I do things on my own. I went to visit preachers. I went to visit activists. People knew me in my community. I was always out there doing something. Always. You didn't have to give me no orders to do nothing. I was always out there. People know who the hell I am. You know, matter of fact, in the future, when I go back to where I grew up at, I'll probably be interviewing some of those people, you know, in my community that know me. They'll tell you, they're gonna bear witness. Man, this dude here, you know, they thought I was crazy. I was just excited about those teachings, you know, Elijah Muhammad teaching, probably the same way Malcolm was. I want to tell the world. I used to write 20-page letters to my family about the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. And right now, I don't like to write nothing, because after writing all that stuff in the Nation, And then when I got locked up, all that legal stuff I had to write, I don't like writing at all no more. I'd rather run my mouth. That was a lot of work, man. I'm an old, tired guy right now. But with the right people, I can get my energy level back up. I'm a hard worker. I'm ready to, you know, I'm over 50 years old. If I have 20 or 30 years left, I'll be doing good. And I want to go out like a soldier. I don't want to go out like one of these little punks. I don't want to take my grandchildren out to Disneyland. I want to go out as a fighter. I want people to know this dude fought to the very end. I want to go out as a soldier. You know, there are many who were with me. They fallen to the side. They couldn't handle. They couldn't handle the struggle. But see, I was made for it. I told you ever since I was a little boy, this is cool to me. I love it. I love these debates. I love all this kind of stuff. I love this. I love messing with these folks. Actually, I don't really want to mess with debating black folks. I want to deal with the enemy themselves. But sometimes you're forced to deal with crazy Negroes. I want to debate with you over. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I don't think it has anything to do with debating. We just talking about stopping sword.
Hey, you echoing? You echoing bad.
That's true too.
I'm echoing.
You were. I heard like a real loud echo, like you had your speaker or something like real close. I don't know what's going.
I don't want that to happen.
Well, talk now.
Hello.
Like, say something.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay, good. Yeah, so it's all about us, you know, just chopping swords. You know what I'm saying? We're just chopping swords. I don't like the whole debate, but only time I would debate if somebody says something outrageous. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but I want to get back to you. Something that you said. I know we spoke on the phone about Africans don't like us. Didn't you say that? If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
You didn't say that.
No.
So you didn't say Africans. You said Africans don't like us.
No, I never said Africans don't like us. I don't know what Africans like. You know, so I couldn't tell you what I don't know what Africans like.
You did say that we're not. You don't consider us African.
No.
Okay, you said that we're a mixed breed or something like that, right?
Right, absolutely.
We're like a plum, according to you.
A nectarine.
A nectarine, right?
Right.
What makes you think that we're a nectarine? Like because we took on the white man's. We was forced to learn the white man's language. Well, we took on the customs. Because when I look at you, brother, I see an African man. You got the wide nose. You got the characteristics of an African. When you go to Africa, people ain't going to even know that you're American unless you talk. They're going to say, okay, oh, you're American because you talk like the white man. This is what they'll say. Right. But when you go over there, there's a lot of brothers that look like you.
I'm pretty sure.
What I'm saying is that some people might sound like, and it sounds like those brothers that I can't stand because the ISUPK, the Israelite.
Yeah.
How they said they're more connected to the white man, to the Africa. They put down Africa really bad, especially that cornball. What's his name? Captain. No, Captain
Tazaria.
Yeah, Tazaria.
Yeah, he's a nut. You know, I mean, come on. Even Shaka almost had to check him.
Mm-hmm.
So Malcolm said that we're African people. He said that we didn't come here. We're not African. We didn't choose to be American. So we're not American people. Even though the kids from the next, after our generation are not considered American. Again, we was forced to come here and pretty much raped, into the white man's way of life. So if you look at our customs, brother, as far as the jewelry we wear, we're very fashionable people. You go to Africa, they're very fashionable people. They wear the jewelry. That's all the jewelry comes from. The braid in the hair, the dreadlocks. You know, everything, our dances. You compare the break dancing, because you was around and you saw how the hip hop era with the break dances,
right,
and they compare it to the African dances. So we didn't lose our African way. The African DNA is always in you. So that's what I'm saying. How you consider we're a nectar if we do things as similar as the black man and black woman in Africa.
Okay. I'll continue to use the nectarine as an example. I'm very sure, well, you're familiar with a nectarine.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you look at a nectarine, there are many people who will confuse a nectarine with a peach. Most nectarines, even though a nectarine is a grafted fruit, it's a mixture of a plum and a peach. It basically taking on a peach characteristic. It looked more like a peach than a plum. You can't even tell that a plum had anything to do with the nectarine. Mm-hmm. But it carries the similarity, carries certain characteristics of both. It carries characteristics of the plum and the peach. So just because I look like somebody from the continent does not mean anything, because I do carry that. That is, the people some of us did come from there. There's no doubt about that. I'm not denying us that some of us did not come from there, but also at the same time, there's another part of the story that we ignore. And the reason why I decided to explore that by looking at my own family. One day, I was looking through the old albums of my family, and my cousin, my granduncle, something just clicked in my head, and we're supposed to be Africans. Well, why my granduncle look like Geronimo, the Native American, supposed to be a Native American? He looks just like him. So I looked up Geronimo, and Geronimo does not look like these so-called Native Americans that you see today. Geronimo don't look like those people. Didn't look like that.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And then I started looking more closer at my relatives. I'm like, what African people do these people supposed to look like? Matter of fact, what does a black person in America, what do we look like? Now, if you go to Google and do a Google search of the people of the continent of Africa, you'll see the different various forms and the different tribes or whatever. And they all have a certain look to that nation or that tribe. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the so-called African Americaners in this nation, we don't have a look. We can look like almost anybody. Matter of fact, some of us can pass for Caucasian and are passing for Caucasian right now to this day. I have a side of my family, what they done was they married light-skinned blacks, and they became lighter and lighter and lighter. So they called this part of my family, they are called the white people of our neighborhood, because they, instead of getting darker, they became lighter because they kept marrying lighter skinned blacks, and they kept getting lighter and lighter and lighter. What do we actually look like? Some of us don't have kinky hair. Some of us actually have straight like hair. All of us don't have big noses, thick lips. We are a variety of people because of our experience in slavery. The Caucasian people, yes, they did take some people from the islands and the continent of Africa, but I can guarantee you that the majority and the original stock of the slaves was already here. That's why we look like those old pictures of Geronimo and those native people. And in fact, they call those native people Negro. Who else do they call a Negro? Before they called us black, they called us Negro. And they called those people who's supposed to be the Native Americans, they called them Negro first. And the way I'm looking at it is that the reason why they called us Negro, because they know that we are one and the same. They are the original stock. Then they got people from the islands, and they got people from Africa, and we mixed all, the dark-skinned people. Matter of fact, it was a mix just in this continent because all these Native American dark-skinned people on this continent, they was different. And they did not interact with one another. But because of slavery, they was forced to interact with one another. Then you had those people from the continent or whatever. So and of course, the slave master raped us. So after a certain period of time, our ancestors, we're not going to be like our ancestors. We're going to become just like the nectarine. We're going to become a whole different group of people to our own self. You cannot call a nectarine a peach because it's not a peach. You cannot call it a plum because it's not a plum. You cannot call us an African or a Haitian or any other dark-skinned people on this planet. We are not them. The characteristics are in us like the nectarine, but we are not them. Just like the nectarine, we've become our own strain, unique self that has now been removed from everybody else. We even can recognize one another. As different as we are, we can tell you're a black man, you're a black woman, you're a soul sister, you're a soul brother. I don't know how we do it, but we can recognize each other. But we're different. I call us the rainbow people. We are a new people made for a new time, and we don't need to be connected to nobody else. Because all the people on this planet have shown they are corrupt and messed up in the head. Our only problem, we are new physically. The only thing that has to happen now is we have to have a new mindset and get them out of the ways, not only of the Europeans, but of those ways of the ancient ones, our ancestors. We need to do all that stuff, go into ourselves and bring out the new. We are the new people, and we're the rainbow people.
So basically, right, so what you saying that because we are new people, we have no history, we have to start fresh. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Everybody, look. Everybody starts from somewhere. Those people that you're talking about, they had a beginning. They all had a beginning. We all started off as sperm and egg. All of us do. But as you grow up, then you begin to evolve. Yes, we start from where we are right now. And what's wrong with starting from nothing? You start brand new and you build and you evolve and raise yourself up. And after 1,000 years, you created your own culture, your own civilization. Everything is all about you. You create something that's brand new. Why are you going to continue to wear old shoes when you can wear brand new shoes with somebody else's stinky feet been in it? I'm not interested in somebody else's stinky feet. I want my own pair of shoes. See what I'm saying? I'm smart enough and I'm confident enough in myself to move. But you cannot do that if we continue to have a slave mind looking for a slave master. So now I'm looking for an African to be my new slave master. I'm not gonna be your servant or no servant to nobody. You want to help me? We can get along, we can team up and then be brothers and sisters, but I'm not going to bow down and worship you and think that you all that because you're not. I'm confident in myself. I don't need you, African or Negro or Caucasian or Chinese. I don't need none of you. I can do my own thing. I'm my own man. That's where I stand. Be yourself. Find the uniqueness in yourself. Just like we come from our parents, but we're not our parents. You can be greater than your parents. Oh, you can be a doctor. You can be a lawyer because your daddy and your mom was a doctor. You can be greater than your mom and your father because you're unique to yourself. There are things that your mother and father do that you don't like and you don't do. There are things that our ancestors used to do that don't apply to us. That was a different time. That was a different day. We don't even know the reasons why many of them do the things they did in the ancient past. We don't know why they do some of the things they do right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, but here's the problem.
What's the problem?
I understand your logic to a certain degree, but well, you know how they said in order to go forward, you got to take two steps back. So what I'm saying is this, is that even when you was growing up, you didn't know who you were until you got into the nation. The people from the nation had got their studies from the past. So they didn't say, oh, we starting fresh. Or you didn't hear Elijah Muhammad say, oh, let's start fresh. We are no whole new breed of people. No, He talked about the original black man were God. Well, where you get that from? From ancient Kemet. So these guys did a lot of research. You have Marcus Garvey said the same thing. Now we keep these people alive. You know, we're not keeping them alive physically, but we keep their spirit alive. We keep their teaching alive. So so we don't forget it. And my thing is like this, and here's what I understand about Negroes, because if you can say the national anthem by heart, how come you can't take that same knowledge, say that same memory, when the teachers like Malcolm and Taalik Muhammad and these brothers had taught us these things and instill it in your head? But no, we reject that. We think that's too pro-black or it's too old, but we have no problem picking up some Bible or some stupid Quran. I'm sorry to say it, but those things are man-made or white man bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not knocking nobody's faith. You could be whatever, but my thing is put race first. At the end of the day, your race comes first. Your race should be your religion. And never always, and I was telling my brother, Craig, that we only lost our power 2,000 years ago without the influence of the white man or any other race of people. Why don't we go back, study and master it, and then go forward? And we become new by as a rebirth, I should say.
Right.
Just like the Tekken in Kemet. The Tekken means rebirth. You know what I'm saying? So we can still do it. I understand, you're right. Yeah. But we can't reject our teachers. The stuff that was put on walls to let us know that we should never forget. That was there for a reason. We can never forget our African forefathers and foremothers. We got to, you know, when your mother had taught you, she taught you how to eat, she taught you how to put on clothes, or your father did, or whoever.
Right.
And it instilled in you. You didn't forget those things.
Right.
So my question is, I can't do it justice to my master teacher, whether it was Taalik Muhammad, Malcolm, and these guys saved my life.
Right.
Way before some Farrakhan came into place. My mother had taught me about Malcolm. And later on I learned about Taalik, because Taalik loved Malcolm. So he took on that image of the Black Panther movement, and he made the new Black Panther movement more popular because of Taalik, thanks to Taalik Muhammad.
That's right.
So I never say I gotta keep my forefathers and foremothers alive. And that's what make me who I am and make me a better player. And trust me, it done wonders for me. It made my whole eyes open to new things and want to do more. And I'm teaching the younger generation too, because the younger generation are lost. You go back, talk to the white man, tell you where he's from. He had no problem telling me I'm from Poland, or I'm from Italy, and they've been born here. Generation, and they never been to these places. Right. They've never been to the place. They're second and third generation. They've never been to these places. But they'll tell you their whole history. Yes. Like that. Because whoever they're teaching, let them know they never forget. And we should never forget, but the people that done us wrong, we should never forgive either. You know what I'm saying? But we should never forget our past, what we went through. And we should never forget our master teacher, what was taught to us. That's all I'm saying.
True. I concur with you. And I think some people, when they hear me talk like that, they get they need to ask probably for more clarification, because I'm not saying to throw Malcolm out the window. I would never tell you to throw Malcolm out the window or Marcus Garvey out the window. Anything that our ancestors left us of good. Now, there are some things that you do need to throw out the window because they don't apply to us. But however, there are things like when people tell me about Kemet and Ma'at, what's wrong with Ma'at? I don't have no problem with Ma'at. There's nothing, everything, the principles of Ma'at, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with
I'm just saying, all thing I'm saying is that we need to look at ourselves and bring out our own uniqueness.
I agree.
We're not throwing those things which are beneficial away. I'll never do that. We because we need every tool of positivity that we can get. We need everything that we get in order to become liberated and go for ourselves. Exactly. Every positive tool. So that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that we are not like our people in the past, because they were pure.
That's true. I agree.
They were pure prior to Europeans messing with them.
Right. That's true.
But we're not. We're not that. You know, we're not that. That's all I'm saying. And we should apply ourselves or look at ourselves as a unique new strain of life on this planet and go for what is ours, as they did when they were alive and when they was doing. And we should not base what we do on what some people doing on the continent, especially Africa right now, because those people are really just as messed up as we are, except they are on the continent. Look at what they're doing.
Yeah, but
they are so filled. Look, brother.
Yeah, but they're connected to resources, though. We're not. Yeah. And we need those resources. They
connected with resources, but can't do nothing with it.
That's when we come in, brother. That's what we come in.
Right. But you cannot help them until you help yourself. So it don't make no difference what's going on with them. We have to take care of ourselves. If you can't get yourself together, how can I give you a dime for a hamburger and I can't even feed myself? So I have to take care of myself first before I can think about them. Then also at the same time, just because somebody has dark skin don't mean they give a damn about you. So, you know, what are they doing to show the same kind of love that we're showing for them? Are they showing you the same kind of love right back? Or are they out there just doing their own thing? And I would tell you this, according to what I've seen in the history of the people on the continent of Africa, they are so warped and so wacky in the head and hate each other so bad that they would rather be destroyed than come together as united against Europeans and the Asians or anybody else out there coming to exploit them. And that's the mentality that we have right here in America, which is a negative trait that we've taken. It must come from them, because the American Negro do the same thing. Oh, I can't do nothing with you. You don't believe in God. I can't do nothing with you. You Kemetic. I can't do nothing with you. So we would rather sit back in the cut, and we would let the government take down the Nation of Islam and sit back. Oh, them niggas probably deserved it anyway. And we'll sit back in our little group the same way them Africans do. Same type of crazy, insane mental illness. We do the same kind of stuff. The same thing. We need to come up out of that. But that's because they don't see each other as family. Those people on the continent, they are all different. They think differently, do different things. They don't see themselves as brothers and sisters. Never have, and probably never will. They would rather be destroyed. And you know, from my point of view, perhaps that's best for all of us.
I want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like I said, I talk to a lot of my brothers and sisters from Africa.
Yeah.
This guy, he's from Togo, and his name is Abdul. Very nice brother. Very, very giving brother. Very giving. You know, and sometimes he'll offer me food and stuff like that. You know, just give me little things. You know, and you know, he don't ask for nothing in return. Black folks over here, they give you a little something. They want something in return. But, you know, he told me one thing, brother. He said, you know what? The mentality is different. You know, and this is something that that Europeans had put on us, as far as, you know, this give and take type of thing, where Africans, they do give.
Yeah. And
they don't ask for nothing in return. So, you know, that's how Europeans go over and conquer.
Yeah.
He did that with the Africans. He did that with the Native Indians over here.
Yes.
You know, Christopher Columbus, read about his law. He has a captain law. He said these guys, the Native Indians, were very giving.
Yeah.
And he took advantage of it.
Yeah.
And we took on that same European mindset that we wanted to rob. I'm going to rob you. I want to take what you got because you got more than me. This is the reason why people get robbed and get killed over nothing. So what I'm saying is that I'm not putting all Africans in a good light over there in Africa, because I know you got some bad ones too.
Yes.
But the majority of them are very nice people, and I met a few of them. I never met a brother nor a sister who was very nasty or was very mean. They're very pleasant. I mean, the mentality is so different. You look at the Africans in Cuba, same situation, very giving. Sita Shakur, when she went over there to escape from white America for executing her, you know, she had. You look at her video when she over in Cuba. She said the black folks are very nice, very giving. So, you know, that's what I want. I want to be connected to those black folks.
Yeah.
That's giving, where I can have no problem giving back, you know, just from the kindness of my heart. I don't want to have to feel that, okay, you give me something, I got to give you something in return right away. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, we are people that when you don't have, we want to help you out to make your life better. And this is the type of people we are.
Yes.
You know, I'm not saying all black people like that in America, but the majority of us in America, we don't do nothing for nothing. And it's sad. Yeah,
that's
that. I want to be connected to those black folks that are willing. I don't care if it's 80% of them are kind and maybe 20% are just assholes. I'd rather go for the 80%.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this brother Abdul, I see him. You know, he gives me. I learned a lot from watching the Nollywood movie. That's the reason why I call myself Nollywood. Yes. Because I'm very inspired of the movies, and you can learn a lot from movies. He said those movies are based on true stories and true events, where these brothers and these sisters that own beautiful homes, homes, not what you see on with the white man showing you how they have us living in huts and you know what I'm saying, poverty. No, they have homes that looks better than homes in America. Yes. Cities that look better than New York City and Chicago and all this. I mean, beautiful. That's heaven to me. Right. I want to live to black people that have. We don't have nothing in America. I'm not saying we have upper class black neighborhoods. Of course we do. But do we own corporations? Do we own a pharmaceutical company? Do we own a gasoline station? That's the problem that I have. We don't own something that we could put our name in the stock market. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why they killed Gaddafi, because Gaddafi said, yo, we got the resources I'm putting where black people can benefit, where they can knock the Federal Reserve out the box, where he could tell America, kiss my ass, I'm not accepting no more of your American dollars. Anything, you need my oil, everything got to be based on gold, so that gold could back up the currency in Africa. That's right. That's what I want to be connected to. I'm tired of living in the ghetto. I'm tired of living among ignorant black people, just like Brother Polite. Brother Polite, I feel with Brother Polite. That's the reason why he had to leave out the neighborhood. I don't blame him, but I want to live next to my people. If I want to live in a nice neighborhood, I want to live where around decent black people, where black people that marry, that believes in marriage, not just having babies out of wedlock. I hate that shit. Yeah, that's disgusting. And men just sleeping around, not being committed to one another, and homosexuality and all this other nonsense. That's the heaven that I want. That's just me.
No, it's not just you. I mean, I think, well, not think. I know most of us, if you have any kind of sense, that's what we want. That's what we want.
No, black people don't want that. Some black people don't want that. This guy, he got a radio show. He called himself the Uncle Tom Show. And he said, go on Facebook. If you got Facebook, look on the Uncle Tom Show. And he said he want to live among white folks because he said he's tired of living in the ghetto. But I said, wait a minute. You can go to Jersey and there's beautiful, nice black neighborhoods. You go to down south, there's beautiful, nice black neighborhoods. Yeah. You know, just nice. I used to live in a black neighborhood right in DC. Beautiful, nice neighborhood. And if I do get that house over there, I'm getting it. I'm moving back. Because that's the place I remember. It's quiet, no one bothers you, and it just feels like home to me. That's all I'm saying. It just feels like home to me. I want to feel as a black man in America, I want to feel like I'm at home among my people, among decent black folks. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't, you know, with all this nonsense and what's going on and all this corruption, we corrupt ourselves by adopting the European ways of life, and it's not working for us. This is the reason why we have to depend on the Democrat Party to save our lives. Because black people don't want to be independent. Black people do not want to be independent. Senator McKenzie, I voted for her in 2008. I didn't vote for that scumbag Obama.
I'm
voting for a sister, a real black woman, who was for education, who was going to fight for our reparations, but nobody didn't want to vote for her. Why?
Okay, I wanted to throw this out there since we finally got both of you brothers online. I will give my position on, Africa. I mean, the reason that I do, I'll just be real quick with this, but the reason that I do embrace Africa is because if I was to personally look back through my family tree, go back generation after generation, eventually my people lived in Africa. So I can't distance myself from Africa. Yeah, I mean, like the current condition, of the continent today, because like my brother was saying, I mean, yeah, there are some bad people over there, but like I have a connection to that place because like without that place, I wouldn't exist. If my ancestors, didn't do what they were doing 100 generations ago, or let's go back to 1,000 generations ago. Let's go back to the beginning of civilization. I mean, they say the first man, the first human, originated out of Africa. So I'm more or less like, I'm just looking at the origins of, human, the origins of human civilization, the origins of my people. Like, let's take all the bad out, all the exploiters. I'm not claiming that. When I claim Africa, I'm not claiming all the exploitation and, the senseless murders and, and all that stuff going on. I just claim it, man, because it's where I come from.
Right. All
that's where my people come from. It's where the man, that's where the original man comes from.
Right. All that came,
but
the murdering. I'm sorry, Craig. Let me cut you off, but I just want to just add what you're saying. As far as the whole murdering, if you look at the movie Shaka Zulu, how the white man had introduced Shaka with the guns. And see, because African people, we don't believe in killing our enemy. We'll beat you up. We'll beat our enemy up, and you might get a little stab wounds here and there. And if you die because of if you bled a lot or something like that. But it wasn't intentional killing when we went to war. It was more like, okay, we got you. We're gonna put you to work, and you live a normal life. It wasn't like we put our people in shackles. You lived with families, and you lived a good life. And
the ancients didn't just go around murdering people like they couldn't have. Like we were a peaceful people.
Yeah, we was peaceful. Even when it came down to warfare, we was peaceful. If you really think about it.
None of us would exist right now.
Well,
because all of our ancestors would have been murdered off.
Right.
I mean, that's the way I look at it.
But the thing is, I just want to say this real quick.
Okay.
When you look at the movie Shaka Zulu, how the white man introduced him into the canon, and it was sad in my heart because when Shaka Zulu, he got, of course, he had so much hatred. He thought he was doing something. He had took the cannon and blew up one of the other king that he captured, the other African king he captured. The guy looked so scared. You know what I mean? And that hurt me because I was like, wait a minute. We don't do that. We capture the king, we might humiliate him, but at the same time, we don't kill our people like that. Even when it comes down to warfare, we just don't do that. We don't.
Well, according to that movie, you talk about the 1987
right
movie.
It was based on a true story, so I'm going by that.
But I love that. Henry Seeley, I think that brother did I think he's passed now.
Right. Yeah,
brilliant,
yeah. Good actor.
Brilliant actor. I love his portrayal of Shaka. I think he did a dang that should have been a job type movie.
Yes.
But if you notice, since you talking about this movie, now Shaka in that movie, he was the one that really started because prior to him, that's the way warfare was. They were just basically playing around. And according to the movie, Shaka was like, what is that? Warfare. Shaka's the one that started killing folks. He developed his own spirit, and he got to and started that whole, because that's the way they was. That's the way they was. Warfare basically was a game.
Right, that's true.
But Shaka said, "The hell with that! I'm killing me somebody. I make sure I'm basically you're not gonna come back and play another game. So also when you're talking about civilizations and great empires, they are not developed because people was peaceful. When if you take example for the Zulu nation, everything started off small, then it begins to grow, and it gets to the point where it grows, and you need resources for your population. Like, okay, we need some resources here. So I very much doubt that you go to your neighbor and say, look, let us join together and because we need some more resources. That's not how things happen.
Right.
What they do, they go to war and they take the land. Usually they kill the majority of the men, and they keep the women, because the women are called booty, and you know how much we love booty. So we kill the men, take the women, take the land and resources, and that's how these great kingdoms begin to expand. And a lot of these tribes and nations, a lot of them have disappeared, because usually when they do it, they burn it down, they destroy it. You don't even have there's no signs that it even existed. So there's a lot of people that's been on this planet we don't know nothing about, because they were conquered and totally annihilated, destroyed. You don't know nothing about them no more. That's how civilizations come into being, grow. And when you talk about great nations and civilizations, people think that civilization is a good thing. Civilization take you up out of your natural ability to be independent, because you put yourself in a position where now you depend on a government, you depend on a certain people to grow your food. At one time, when you are a hunter and gatherer, you depend on yourself. But when you become part of a great city or a civilization, you might develop great technology and all like this, but you develop a situation where you are no longer yourself. You can't take care of yourself. You become dependent upon the rulers. And what if the rulers are corrupt? That's what we're facing right now today. And after a certain period of time, and it has been proven, every civilization goes up and it must come down. A lot of civilizations are self-destructive. A lot of civilizations fall because they can't feed their population or something to that effect. But they always go up and they always come down. So if you want to develop a civilization, that's why the cracker is having problems right now. His civilization is coming to an end because he's getting to the point he's drained everything. He's draining the resources. He's drained. That's why they're looking at the continent of Africa, because it's the last threshold of resources. But my problem with the whole thing is, what y'all gonna do once you destroy everything in Africa? If you keep that mentality, then once you drain Africa of its resources, now what? What you gonna do?
You have nothing left. Yeah.
See, there's a mentality. You have to go back. You have to go back to respecting this planet and its life. These people are materialistic. They are greedy. They are temporary. See, if you know that you're going to be temporary, if you have something and you know it's going to be temporary, you treat something that's temporary differently than you treat something permanent. These people have a temporary mentality, so they don't give a damn. They don't even love their future generations. You on your own. You on your own. George Washington didn't give a damn about his future generations. Oh, George Washington's so damn great. Oh, he's the great. You dumb ass sucker. George Washington and the forefathers knew this slavery thing was going to be a problem. They left it to your ignorant ass. So they can live the way that they live. They didn't give a damn about you. Oh, George Washington and the forefathers, they didn't give a damn about the slave, and they didn't give a damn about you. Now here you are, got to put up with all this, the black people and the white people. I get so sick, the black people and the white people. We should be sick of it. But we all caught up in this garbage that they left behind, because they don't want to admit your forefathers screwed up. They racist and wicked. You got to clean that mess up. Otherwise, you are not going to have a long life. Not you planning the death of black folks, you're going to go right behind them. Because when you disrespect this planet, the earth don't give a damn about you. You can destroy yourself, the earth gonna be here. You can destroy yourself, and the bear and the deer and the roaches, they all still gonna be here, but your ass gonna be gone. And matter of fact, the bear and some of these other scavengers probably be living off your body. You know, You know, so we have to come differently. Our minds have to be set differently. If you want to go to Africa and you want to save Africa, don't do it because you want to go there and be like the European or the Asians and destroy the resources. You have to go there. I'm doing this. I'm going to save that continent because it's the last place where you can live decently and have what the earth provided for us that's natural for us. And at the same time, you need to work on the places that have been destroyed to try to bring them back to life. But if you go to Africa and you destroy that, that's the end. Then where y'all gonna go? But if you're selfish, you don't give a damn about your future generation because they're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna be in trouble. We cannot continue to live this way of life that we're living right now because it's oil based. You know, this plastic bottle is oil. Oil makes this. The computer is oil. Everything is oil. Don't you know it's unnatural for you to eat a banana? Because bananas don't grow here. But because of oil, you can send a boat over to where they grow the bananas and bring it back here in a few days. And you got bananas every day. That's unnatural. You shouldn't be eating. You should only be eating and consuming those things which is in your geographic area. So we are totally out of the box. We are totally out of the box. We are unnatural human beings. We totally out of, we don't even know what natural is no more. Don't you know? Look at this, brother. Many of us think that it's natural for a dog to bark. That's my dog, he barking. It's not natural. That's an unnatural, that's something that was bred into dogs. Dogs don't bark. Dogs come from wolves. And wolves, you can hear them bark now and then. But they don't, you don't hear them do that. First of all, in nature, if an animal bark like that, you bring attention to yourself and you'll be scared away your prey. And you also be bringing attention to your enemies to be barking crazy like that all the time. But the dog was bred that way so he can be a friend to human beings, to be a guard dog for human beings. But that's not natural for that animal to be barking crazy like that. But we think that it's, oh, dogs supposed to bark. No, dogs ain't supposed to bark. That's something that was bred into them by man, made the dog abnormal. Matter of fact, that dog should not even be your friend, period. Why would an animal befriend you? There's no benefit between you and that animal. There's nothing to benefit. So we looking at slavery. That's slavery of animals. You got a dog and cat in the house. I know you think that's cool, and some of us get lonely. Why don't you get a human being?
Right.
Why we got to put a dog and a cat in the house? There are thousands of soul children, black children, in these orphanages and foster care. Why can't we get our children out of these damn orphanages and stuff? But we gonna get a damn dog, and the dog has better health care than the children in the foster care system. We are all better, and that's including these old black conscious folks talking about don't have an abortion. So if you don't have an abortion, what we gonna do with the baby? You gonna take care of the child? You ain't gonna do nothing for the child. It's better for that child to be dead. So you're gonna bring this child onto this planet, and the white folks gonna adopt the baby. Oh, the white people ain't supposed to be adopting our baby. You're not doing it. Not only are the white folks adopting the baby, but the homosexuals gonna adopt the children. And the people that's gonna get them and harvest their organs and other things that happen to our babies. You know what I'm saying? So we have, we talk all this hypocritical stuff. I have relatives, black power, don't have no children. They make thousands, beautiful salary. I said, how come you can't foster care? Why don't you support somebody who's willing to adopt the children? They don't want to do nothing, talking all that black power bull crap, and don't support your babies. Then when the babies get adopted by a cracker, and then they love their cracker mama and father, if they the devil, do you think them children don't want to hear that? That's the person that took care of them. Their cracker mama and daddy. They're not going to turn their backs on the person that got them out of foster care in an orphanage. You didn't do a damn thing for them. So, come on now. That's what they don't like about me, because I'm going to keep it real. let's keep this whole thing real. You know, get our children out of this foster care. Don't be talking about abortions and all that. Plus, you live in a nation, fornication and adultery is legal. You can run around and screw all the women you want, all the men you want, get all the babies that you want to. It's not against the law. Who gonna take care of them? Who cares? It's legal in America. And matter of fact, many of you are guilty of it. Don't take care of your children. They in foster care.
Sure.
Or the children are born to parents, they dope fiends, alcoholics. They end up in foster care. Or they become criminals and they go to jail somewhere. And the relatives won't even adopt the children. Now here I am, I'm telling you, I don't have children. Never wanted babies because I didn't want to bring them into this mess with me. But if my grandnieces and nephews, whatever, if it got to the point where something happened to their parents, I'm going to have me some children in my house. That's just the bottom line. I'm not going to allow my children, my relatives, to go to foster care. And Lord knows I don't want no babies, especially as old as I is. They're not going to foster care. They're not doing it. Matter of fact, I was thinking about if somebody adopt a child or get one of the children, I would help support that child. I will give you financial support to help get our babies up out of these foster care, these orphanages and stuff. Because I don't like that. Because they belong to us. They our responsibility. And if we don't want those children in foster care, then we need to bring a whole new mindset and mentality to our people so we can stop doing this to ourselves. That's just the bottom line. And I'm willing to work with anybody. Everybody is my friend. They don't like me because of how I talk. But I'm not enemies to nobody, even my ex-wife. If I told you what my ex-wife done to me, you say, "Ooh, brother, ooh, Lord, she was a mean one." Oh, that's not even this. Mean is being nice. But I don't even hate her. If she was on the side of the road and needed something to eat, I'll pull over and I'll help her. Because I'm not going to hold that evil in me. That's what it means. That's what it means in Christian teaching, to turn the other cheek, not to an enemy. My wife done what she done to me out of ignorance because she was stupid. Jesus said in the scriptures, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." Which I might have a problem with Jesus because I believe me, Jesus, they do know what they're doing. You know, that's what it meant. But that's what is meant by that. Not your outright enemy. Have some mercy and compassion for your own. So I'm giving my wife and all those people who hate my guts, I have no problem with you. I'm going to still love you. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Because I know where my heart is. I know what Brother Craig's heart is. I know what your heart is just by where you're talking. You know, you're not coming here for no argument and debate over something and we get to hating each other. Oh, you don't think you're an advocate. That's not what it's about. Stop taking stuff personal. We take things all personal and stuff. This is not personal. If you want to take something personal, I want to personally take you to heaven. That's what I want to personally do. And you can believe what you want to believe, do what you want to do. I'm not going to bother you. I just want to see you happy. Enjoy your life. That's all I want. All this other stuff, really, leave it to the scholars. All this back and forth bickering on. Once you get free, so they can get the real knowledge, so they can get the real understanding, so we can get some real stuff on the table. Let them hammer all that stuff out. Let the scholars and people who study this stuff for 50, 60, 70 years, let them hammer this stuff out and get it together, whatever. I don't have no problem with none of it. I don't have no problem with it. I just want to get out of the cracker's house. I want to wake up in a situation like I lived when I was a little boy in Mississippi. I did not see white people. I only saw two. That was the guy, I guess, who owned the land that my grandparents were sharecropping, and my music teacher, because I went to an all-black school in Mississippi, and I had a Caucasian music teacher. I want to wake up, and I don't see Caucasian people. I don't want to see them. I don't care if my neighbor's dog doo-doo on my lawn, my neighbor black. I don't care. We'll work that out, neighbor. You're gonna have to do something with your dog. You know? So I wanna go to a store, nothing but black folks. I wanna go to the library, nothing but black folks. I wanna go to the gas station, nothing but black folks. I wanna get on an airplane, nothing but black folks. That's the way I wanna see. That's heaven. Not just black folks, but just like brother, brother, what's your name?
Craig?
Brother, huh?
You mean Craig or me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, Guy Nollywood.
Yeah, Guy Hollywood. Sorry about that.
Guy, not Hollywood, Nollywood.
Nollywood. Just like Brother Guy was saying, you know, he wants to be in heaven with the right people, not just anybody, with the right people. And believe me, see, if you do it right, even the ones that's doing wrong, they will begin to want to do right because they'll look at you and your example. They're like, wow, I want to be like that. They doing it too. Everybody wants to be part of success. Nobody wants to keep living this hellish life. Even the most evil person on the planet wants peace in their life.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what it's all about. I want peace for you. I'm not trying to be your enemy. I'm just trying to bring it to the best. This is how I comprehend things.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And there's nothing wrong with showing tough love. You know what I'm saying? I believe in tough love.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to get a little tough to show that you have, you know, love for your people and all that. And that's what, you know, because even Garvey said the same thing. He said you could talk to the black man as nice, as soft you could be, but sometimes you got to talk to that black man like you got to get harsh on him too.
Right. That's right.
So I grew up on tough love, and then because tough love saved my life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's what we, you know, sometimes I go on my posts and I say little things, and I have my own people would come at me and say, "Oh man, you go hard, and I'm like, to them that's hard, and I don't think so. I think I'm being very nice what I say, but I didn't know educating my people was considered I'm going hard. I'm just saying, look, there's, like you said, there's a right way of doing things, and there's a wrong way of doing things. And I remember this one brother, he had said something about, like, as far as interracial relations.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I know I did a video on it. I said, well, look, the only time I see where someone going outside their race, where that, unless they don't see none of their people around. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm in a state where there's all white people, I barely see my people. Most likely I might end up with a white woman.
Right.
Because no man don't want to be alone. Mm-hmm. And it's natural. That's how it is. But it is unnatural to not be among your own people. It would be unnatural. So, I will be living in an unnatural state, but it would be more understandable. You know what I'm saying? If I was in that situation where if I was living among the majority of people or Europeans or Indians or whatever. Now, I had another brother tell me he has an uncle, married a white woman, but he lived in a black neighborhood. Mm-hmm. How's that possible? So you mean to tell me you in a black neighborhood with a white woman? That means, look, I live in an African neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. Or a black neighborhood. I see a lot of sisters around. So you mean to tell me, I told him, I said, you mean to tell me your uncle has skipped all those sisters just to chase after a white woman, just to be with a white woman? Mm. And you don't think that's self-hate? He thinks that's love. That's not love to me. Love, when it comes down to love, that means you have no other choice or no option where you don't see you don't see your own reflection nowhere. Where you say, you know what? I have to take what's given to me. Okay, there's a lot of Indian women there, or red women, or yellow women. Then that's what people I'm going to be with because I don't see my women there. Mm-hmm. It's a natural thing. although you live in a probably unnatural state, but that's a natural thing that you're lonely, you want to be with somebody. But you know, when it comes down, you know, and that's a problem with, you know, as far as our people, that they live in a very unnatural state of life.
That's right.
And Marcus Garvey has said this, that we got to get into our natural state. And when you tell black people, hey, you out of line, or you out of your state, out of your natural state, they get mad at you. And like you said, what is wrong with doing the things the right way?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm sorry, but that's how I personally, that's where I see it. I see a lot of self-hate, whether they're killing each other over the most senseless thing, petty beefs, petty debates, like you were saying about like Sonetta and these guys. The base is petty, it's pointless. Don't get me wrong. The debates that I went to changed me.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Kemetic versus the Hebrewites. I realize now, thanks to Polite, thanks to Shaka Amos and these guys, I've got rid of the Bible. I didn't want to be no part of Christianity, because I was brought up as a Catholic. So because I went to these debates, it helped me a lot, brother. That helped me a lot. Mm-hmm. And a lot of brothers and people have changed. So now that's something that we got to teach the generation. We got to spread that, our culture and our history, to all our youth. Because like I said, our youth are lost, and they live in an unnatural environment, and they thinking that smoking crack or smoking weed is normal, drinking is normal. You know, this is what they see. The music is garbage, is trash.
Yes.
Everything is sexual. Everything is sex.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is sex. You know, and it's like, and it's corrupting our beautiful sisters. They, you know, they growing up and they thinking that's normal.
Right.
And about time they hit 20, they already got 2 or 3 kids.
Well,
you see that, brother. You see that.
Yes.
So we have to, we got to be our own, like you said, and I agree with you. We got to take what we know, and we got to be our own teachers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we got to carry that torch. And any other new information to add on it, we can add on take the old within the information that works today. Like Brother Polite has said, one thing, I agree with him. Everything that we used to do in the past don't work no more.
Right. Because
racism have redefined itself. It's different now. It's changed. Racism is in the school systems. Look at the 6-year-old kid, how he didn't want to stand up for the national anthem. The teacher got mad and tried to force him to do the national anthem. That's scary. And that's our right as human beings, that we, as our political right, we don't have to stand for no flag, especially if that flag had done us wrong as a people.
That's right.
So I agree. It's a lot of things that we should keep in the past because they only worked in that past.
Mm-hmm.
And we should come up with new ideas because racism has changed. It's not directly in your face no more.
No.
Some of them is trying to keep that alive. Yes, you do got white people that tell you they don't like you. We hear that. We see that. But there's the ones that smile in your face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll give you money. They give you a contract for music deal, whatever. But at the same time, they plotting. Look at what happened to the movie Straight Outta Compton.
Mm.
How Jerry Heller, look what he did to Eazy-E. You know what he said? Of course, he's not going to call it racism. He called it business.
Right. It's business.
It's business. Racism is business.
That's right. It's been the business ever since this country was created. What do they say? I was told that the first commodity on the stock markets was slaves.
It was slaves. The stock market started with the slaves. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So, you know.
That's true.
So you want to continue to be in that type of environment. You cannot reach your potential who knows what we could have accomplished, but we got to sit around and fight racism 24 hours a day. You know, we can't be ourselves. We can't reach our potential because there's always somebody in the background trying to hinder and stop you. Why would you want to put your children in a position like that? You marvel at what others have done, but you don't have no idea of what your own people can do because we've been, matter of fact, I'm like, shoot, brother, straight out of chattel slavery. Our people came from up out of chattel slavery, nothing but slave. Remember, it was against the law to teach a slave how to read and write, so they was ignorant. But they came out of slavery, and within a few years, they were actually doing better than the crackers that was around all the time. And that's why the crackers was upset, and they attacked, you know, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and did the things that they done because we came straight, our people came straight out of slavery, and we were so bad, we began to progress quicker than they were. Matter of fact, if they had let it alone, we would take over this nation. If they had not done and do the thing that they do, they know we would have took over the nation. Easy. We're smart, we're intelligent, we're creative, we are original. They know who we are. We just don't know who we are. We are allowing them to hold us back. Why would you want to be living with people that's gonna hold you back like that? You know, just like if you're a part of a music group and really you to stand out and they won't let you take the lead like you need to be because they jealous. I should do this and do that. So you know you need to go solo so that you can express your potential and be who you are. You can't allow others to hold you back, be jealous or whatever. The hell with that. You gotta look out for yourself. So yeah, man, we have a lot of things that we need to do.
We have a lot.
And
we have
really,
we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and you know, this just like Brother Craig said, this forum can be the beginning because we're coming from a whole different perspective. We're not coming from, oh, I disagree with you and I hate you, nigga, and all this old crazy stuff. Here we are. How long have we been talking? We've been talking for a little while. Nobody's called nobody no nigga. You crazy, you insane, all this other crazy stuff. You got brothers that come together, and this whole conversation has been civil and cordial and loving.
That's right. That's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be.
And the thing is, I was talking to my brother Craig, and another thing I can't stand too, that that everybody's the king and the queen. And I know you heard it. I know you heard this time and time again. Yeah. That every woman is a queen.
Yeah.
Even the porn stars, the black porn stars, they queens.
Come on now. Let's...
I'm sorry, but it's annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying.
I was telling my brother Craig, and me and him, he was talking about the history of an African queen. Number one, an African queen, she's intelligent. That's number one. Number two, she is a caretaker. You know, she take care of the kids. She makes sure the king get his food or whatever the case is, right?
Right.
But the number one thing is she was a warrior, and she was married. That's two important things. Number one, she was married to the king because in order to be a queen, you got to be married to a king. She was married. Number two is that she was a warrior. If you don't believe me, look at the women and look at the African women in Somalia. They have the baby in the back, but they got an AK-47. and they have husbands. So, you know, if you're a woman, there's no such thing as you can become a baby mama and you can be a queen at the same time. How does that work? Can somebody answer me that question?
Well,
and then you got these women that it's all about their nails, their hair that's not theirs. You know, every woman want to look good. She wants to go to the club, you know, and the guys are no different. Every guy's not a king.
Right.
You can't have different baby mamas and be a king, because kings are married. Kings are warriors. Kings protect. How you can have protecting your babies if you ain't in jail? How you can be protecting your babies if you out there screwing impregnating two or three other women and not paying child support?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just annoying. And I see this time and time again, and no one says no. Everything is just normal. That's not normal. We was not like that. And I'm tired of that. And you see that in the conscious in the conscious community, where every woman's a queen. But I want to know her background. Every man is a king. I want to know your background. What makes you a queen or king? Because you got to earn that. Not every woman is my sister. Not every black is mother.
That's right. That's right.
We got to keep it 100. Because you got black people will kill me quicker than a white man. And Brother Polite was saying this. No one, but everybody calling him, dissing him, and all this other stuff. The only problem I have with Brother Polite, I love the brother. Love him. He's like my brother. But the thing is, instead of going to Beverly Hills and spending your money on white businesses, how come you can't go to Ghana and spend money on black businesses? How come you can't how come you can't go to the black neighborhoods and open up a business over there or support businesses over there? He's in Beverly Hills. The cars that he drives are European.
Mm-hmm.
The stores that he shops are European.
Mm-hmm.
But he's conscious. I don't get it. Did you know in Ghana they have their own cars? The black man created his own cars over there.
Mm.
How come he can't invest where he could bring those African cars created by African people, black men, and bring them over here? And just like the Japanese man did.
Right.
Just like the Korean man did.
Right.
He's an African man. Go to Africa and invest getting those cars over here so we can drive our own cars and have something to be proud of.
Right.
Instead of spending your dollars in fucking Beverly Hills.
Those are the
take a picture with white folks.
Right. But those are the guys that, you know, these people love. You know, they give them thousands of dollars, buy their books and whatever. But you know, it reminds me of what Elijah Muhammad said about the white man. He said, why do the Negro love the white man? Because he gives them nothing. And that's the mentality that we have. You know, these guys basically make a lot of people feel good, but you get nothing in return. And that's one of the reasons why myself and the Nation of Islam, we had to separate, because I'm doing all this work. I'm working real hard and I'm not getting nothing. And then those brothers said, you ain't supposed to get nothing, brother. You know, Allah will reward you. I said, I don't want to hear all that stuff. I'm raising millions and millions of dollars, and the only one I see benefiting is Minister Farrakhan, living in this big house and, you know, and teaching in this beautiful temple. Me as an individual, I'm getting nothing. I don't see none of my family members. Oh, matter of fact, I still have family members that are still following under Farrakhan. And my community supported the Nation of Islam 1,000%. And they got nothing at all. Made me feel embarrassed. See, Farrakhan don't have to live in my community. He's way in Chicago, whatever. I'm the one running around, brothers and sisters, if you do this, the nation gonna do that, and blah blah. And they steady like, okay, we're supporting.
I'm listening to that.
You know, we're supporting everything you guys do. So I mean, what's up? And there's nothing.
Yeah, it really made me despise Minister Farrakhan after that video you did when you was talking about how like some of your relatives like had like put so much money.
Oh yeah, thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, man, that really touched me, man. Like Mr.
Farrakhan, and I keep telling people, I said, Mr. Farrakhan probably don't even know you. Mr. Farrakhan knows me and my family. He knows who we are. My uncle died, and the man didn't send a condolence card or give us a telephone call or nothing. Pissed me off, but you know, it's all right. You know, his wife. It's all right. No, it's not all right. That goes to show you the type of person that you was always dealing with. It's not all right. Because I guarantee you, if Brother Craig or Brother Guy, if we all working together and whatever, and you can even leave our group, but if something happened to you, whatever, I can guarantee you, you're going to get a card or a telephone call or something. Don't have no character.
Yeah, also been wanting to talk to you about this. I saw a video that you uploaded. It was basically a response to another video. Now, this was a guy that I just kind of recently became aware of. And I saw he had a couple videos, man, that were really starting to touch like home base with me, and I was like starting to follow him. But then I ended up going through some of his videos, and he made this video about Malcolm X. Talking about Malcolm X and Khalid Muhammad and I think it was his name, Pharaoh. He's like an older brother from out of Chicago.
Pharaoh said that guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even know who he was. I just saw a video that popped up in my no, it was a brother that was making a comment. He made a response video to that video about him talking about Malcolm. And I guess he was agreeing with what he had to say about Malcolm. And I'm like, who in the hell is this Pharaoh said that guy? And I went and listened to the video. I said, oh, no. We're going to have to give Malcolm some defense. I'm not going to let you slide with that, bro. No, no. It's not going to happen. See, Malcolm is not here to defend himself. And all these idiots want to attack him to try to get brownie points or whatever. I said, Malcolm is not here. I will stand for Malcolm. I would defend Malcolm because he deserves it. I'm not going to let suckers run around here and call these lies and spread their hatred on this man. First of all, the masses of the people love Malcolm. So you messed up right there anyway. And see, Minister Farrakhan messed up because see, he thought in the early 80s he was going to destroy the memory of Malcolm by slandering his name and whatever. But the result was Spike Lee made a movie in 1992. And Denzel, one of our greatest actors, which he did a great job, played Malcolm X. So the only thing he did,
he sure did.
Yeah. So the only thing Mr. Farrakhan did really was bring a rebirth to Malcolm. That's what he done, try to destroy him. Right. And Malcolm's memory is still strong to this day. It's so strong to this day that Minister Farrakhan recently, now all of a sudden, he loves Malcolm or respects Malcolm, whatever. I'm like, you so fake, dude. He's a faker. He's a faker. But see, he couldn't destroy him. So this is the way you got to play it. Well, if you can't beat him, join him. So now all of a sudden, you know, he went to the point where because of my rhetoric, you know, I caused Malcolm's death or whatever. No, you hated that man. You was jealous of him. You wanted his position. Right. And you did what you done. And he still did not apologize. The only thing he did was say, well, because of my speeches and, you know, my rhetoric. No, it was much more than that. You actually hated this man. You was jealous of and envious of him. You wanted his position. You wanted him out the way. And you hated him even in the 80s. The man been dead since 1965. And here you are in the 80s, 20-some years later, all of a sudden bringing Malcolm X out. People weren't even talking about Malcolm X until Farrakhan started bringing it out. And you know, Farrakhan, he attracted thousands and thousands of people. So, you know, all these listeners trying to destroy Malcolm's name. And nobody was going for it. And when I learned about it, I'm like, I'm on Malcolm's side. The hell with you, bro. You can go sit down and smoke your weed. Now, here's a man that's supposed to be so Elijah Muhammad. But as soon as Elijah Muhammad left, not too long after Elijah Muhammad died, Minister Farrakhan went back to drinking, smoking weed, cigars, chasing women, and all that stuff. Now all of a sudden, he's holier than thou. And then, well, get the hell out of here. Get out of here.
Don't forget eating pork.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he ate pork or not. But I don't know. Matter of fact, you know, a lot of this he confessed to. But I don't remember him confessing about eating no pork. I don't know if he ate pork. Matter of fact, in the 80s, this is what a lot of people are saying, that he was having an affair. He was having an affair with that sister Melba Moore. And that money that we raised during that period of time, he was giving it to her to help her with her bills because, you know, she was broke.
Wow.
See, you know, come on, you know, no.
Yeah, Ali,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Ali Muhammad said the same thing. He was the one who exposed the whole Farrakhan son had married the white woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was I couldn't believe it. I when he showed it, that's one of the you know, the lectures I went to. You know, he said he couldn't stand. He left the nation because of that. You know, one of the reasons why. And he said he wanted to go. You know, he wanted to go check Farrakhan, but you know, of course, Farrakhan got his foot soldiers there.
Yeah.
Guarding him. So yeah, he can't stand him. He can't stand him. He felt that he was a betrayal to Elijah Muhammad. He's trying to change his whole doctrine.
Yeah. The people don't even know the real teachings. They're going by what Farrakhan said. See, Elijah Muhammad raised me. I don't know nothing about Farrakhan. I didn't know nothing about Malcolm. I didn't know nothing about none of those ministers. My people was giving me the straight information, the lessons, and everything straight from what the messenger was teaching. So I did not have those influence, those ministers. Even my relatives didn't teach me. Everything that I know about Elijah Muhammad came from his books and from the lessons and all the information they gave me that was officially from the Nation of Islam. I didn't have no teachers. So Farrakhan can't tell me about the teaching because I know the teaching just good as he do, or any of those people, and they don't know the teacher. And Elijah Muhammad also made it very clear when he dies or when he leaves, however you want to look at it, because as far as I'm concerned, he's dead. People talk about he's still alive. Yeah, just like Jesus, I know. But you know, he said, "Do not change my teaching." If you notice when Farrakhan teach, unlike Malcolm X, he very rarely makes a reference to fall of America, our Savior has arrived, or any of the things that Elijah Muhammad has. He can teach for 4 or 6 hours and don't make reference. But now if you listen to Brother Minister Eric Muhammad, you know, Muhammad's Temple number 15, or if you listen to Malcolm X, they always say, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught me that. Farrakhan don't do that. He can talk for.
And Muhammad Ali did it too. Ali did it too.
Muhammad Ali did the same thing. But Farrakhan don't do that because he's teaching Farrakhanism. And Elijah Muhammad also said, after me, there will be no more. He did not say there's going to be some divine reminders and special people that could. He said, after me, I'm the end of God's messages. I'm the end. There's no divine reminder. Minister Farrakhan said, I'm the third man in line. There's Farrakhan, Muhammad, Elijah, and I'm number 3. Hey, Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah, now he's the honorable. The honorable Louis Farrakhan. Like,
I'm like, when did that happen? in the 80s. In the 80s, there was a newspaper, the Final Call newspaper in the 80s, volume, I think the first beginning of volume number 2. He said on the cover of that paper, we must first be brothers. And he took all the titles away from everybody. There was no ministers, there was no captains, there was no honorable, it was just brother. Next thing I know, he's the honorable. Negro, when did you become honorable? That's what I want to figure. When did this happen? Matter of fact, he told me, see, I was with the man. I saw out of his mouth. I'm standing right next to him. He told us at a meeting, it was late at night at the temple. He told us out of his mouth, I'm standing almost right next to the man. He said, do not call me honorable. So you can't tell me about it. I'm standing right next to the man.
Wow.
At 1 o'clock in the morning. And then after he talked to us, he signed an autograph for me and my mother. He said, do not call me honorable, because they was calling him honorable back then. But see, this is the thing about celebrity and praising. He started believing his own hype. That's what happened.
That's what happened, yeah.
That's what happened. All the humanists, because them Negroes, even though he told them, don't call me honorable, they kept doing it. They kept doing it. Now he begins to believe his own hype. You know, I'm the third man in line. You know, all this old crazy stuff. Get out of here. See, I used to work in the man's house. The first the first issues of the Final Call we published out of the basement of his house in Chicago. I remember Minister Farrakhan when he didn't have a pot to piss in. Had 2 broke down Lincolns and Cadillacs. I think that's what they were. Cadillacs. Wow. I don't know what the hell they were. And me and Brother Frank, we used to drive from St. Louis to Chicago to fix his car to keep him on the road. Brother Frank was a bad man when it came to cars. He was an older brother. He probably deceased now. That was that brother was bad with cars. Let me tell you how bad Brother Frank was. Me and Brother Frank, we went to the junkyard and got a car and towed it to the temple. And he put the car in the garage and let down the garage door. And in a few days, I came back and I heard something in the garage go poop, 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 poop. I said, what the hell? Man, we got that car straight from the junkyard.
Wow.
Brother Frank had that car going. That was the first car I ever drove. I was 18 years old. That was the first car I ever drove. And basically it was like mine because I did all the temple. I was running, doing errands for the temple and everything like that. That was the car that I drove. We got that car straight from the junkyard. Didn't have an engine in it or nothing. And when you did pop the hood, Brother Frank, because it was certain parts that wasn't available or they was too expensive, Brother Frank, he twisted and welded different metals together to make the part. I'm like, I saw a spoon and a fork in the carburetor.
Oh, wow.
He done twisted stuff to make it work the way he, I said, what's up with the knife and the fork? Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do.
But that brothers had talent back then, man. Brothers, they know how to take things and and that we're inventors, man. That's what we do.
Man,
that's what we do.
Let me tell you something. Our temple was bad. We had brothers with all kinds of skills. Carpentry, plumbing, cooks.
Y'all had programs. Y'all had programs for all that.
Man, like I told you, but they would start things and stop and all this. It was
right.
We had the talent to get the job done. There's some brothers or some talk that I heard that really the Nation of Islam was designed to docile the revolutionary brothers and sisters in the community. I sort of believe that to a certain point. Because let me tell you something. Them brothers, if Minister Farrakhan gave them the order, we going to war with America, it's been on and popping. I don't know where they would have got the weapons, but they would have got them. Because, a lot of brothers was criminal. They know where to go get stuff. If Minister Farrakhan gave the order to assassinate the president or did something, it would have got done. I'm telling you. And those brothers ain't scared. A lot of them didn't give a damn. A lot of them was ex-dope heads and whatever. They expected to die any minute. It was the teacher that saved their life or whatever. Hell, I was scared about some of them being around some of them because I wasn't involved in that kind of life. I was a little clean boy. I'm so clean, Brother Guy and Craig, that I was 18 years old and didn't know what a prostitute was. Went to the junkyard with my uncle in New Jersey, and it looked like a desert out there. But I saw these girls and these women, a lot of sisters in bikinis. And I'm like, where's the beach? And my uncle like, what you mean, where's the beach? I said, those women in the bikini. That's because, you got truck drivers and people going in and out. They're trying to pick up the truck drivers and stuff. I didn't know what no prostitute was. He said, man, he had to explain to me what the women was doing. And some of them sisters was fine as I don't know what. I said, what the hell are they doing out here?
That's crazy.
I didn't know what homosexuals was. And, because I lived in New York City, the first time I was saw people that were supposed to be homosexuals, I was in New York City, Manhattan. Me and my auntie, we was going to a movie, and these 2 Caucasian guys was walking, hugged up all together. They had each other's hand in their back pockets.
Oh, wow.
And you know how Caucasian people is. The women, their hair is just long as the men, some of them.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a man and a woman. It was 2 dudes. And I'm like, what's up with that? She said, you don't know what that is. I'm like, no, what's up? She explained to me they was homosexual, gay, and all like. I'm like, oh Lord, Nasty. You know,
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question. I know me and Craig, we talk about this clown. How you feel about Tommy Sotomayor?
You just said it. You said about this clown, didn't you? do we really need to go on and speak about this fella? You said
I think what bothers me, this is what bothers me about him, is that he's trying to be this guru of trying to, I guess, put out black people's flaws.
Yeah. And
at the same time, his strategy is to make you feel so bad that you want to do right. That's his strategy. But here's the problem. He's talking about black women a lot. Constantly, he always talk about black women. Black women is this and that. Of course, he's not saying all black women, but he used it as a general term. But here's a man that got 2 kids out of wedlock.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't marry he destroyed, so to me, he destroyed 2 lives by getting these women pregnant. He was trying to bail out, but they got him on child support. He even confessed more than once that he produced children that he didn't want. So you pretended that you love these women, you got them pregnant, and then you're trying to bounce out. You're trying to bail out. He gets mad at these women because these women saying, look, I thought you loved me, or whatever the case is. I had your baby. Now you're leaving. I got to get you on child support. So now that's what the anger is coming from. But the real anger comes from his mother. His mother messed around with a lot of dudes. He don't even know who his father is. So this was all the anger coming from. Yes. Now, a lot of people don't understand, like, you know, what's up with that? You know, what's up with you attacking the sisters? And you know, he dated this white woman, Laura, for almost 3 years. Found out she was a what do you call those women that she was a stripper or something like that? But he was trying to wife her up. And he put it out there and on YouTube, the Soto Nation, and hugging and kissing this woman. Took the Fatherless American money that he was going to have this documentary. I don't know if you remember the Fatherless American. Right. That was supposed to have been done in 2013. This is now 2017. He still haven't done it. He told me personally he wasn't going to do the film. He told me personally. I still got that information. He told me that 2013 that he was not going to. His job was to collect all this money so he can use that money for himself to live whatever he's living at some, I don't know where he's living, but he lives somewhere in Arizona now. He's really from Atlanta. But he didn't, with the point what I was telling my brother Craig, he did not destroy that white woman's life by getting her pregnant. He pretended that she was too perfect to destroy. But you destroyed 2 black women's lives by lying to them that you love them, and you got them pregnant. So now you hate all black women because you hate all black because these women were smart enough to take you to child support. Right. And I don't like the fact that if you listen to his way he talks, he always trying to figure. He always say that he has changed lives and 60% of his fans are black women and all this other stuff, and you just be like, wait a minute, but he destroyed 2 lives. Absolutely. You can't talk about how, my thing is like this, you can't talk about cleaning somebody else's house if your house is not cleaned up. That's right. That's my point I'm trying to make. Right. And no one never attacked him on that subject. No one never said that Tommy, but you got 2 girls pregnant, you got 2 women, you got 2 kids, you got bastard children. Let's be realistic. You got bastard children that you had out of wedlock, but then you want to tell another woman how she should conduct her life? Right. Doesn't make any sense. And I never was that type of man that did that. I'll make sure my house is cleaned up first before I tell somebody how to live, how they should live right. That's right. And that should be the normal standard. But like I said, our people are so backwards. It's not even funny. But then he, like I said, he cherished that white woman like she was like the cream of the crop. And yeah, look it up. You could Google it. Just put Tommy Sotomayor. I don't know if you see them together, but he was with her for almost 3 years. And he cherished her, bought her money. But then I heard that she cheated on him. What? And he's acting surprised. She was broke, and I paid for everything. Really? But what about the sister that you destroyed? Did you do the same thing for her? You didn't flaunt her around on YouTube, but you flaunt this white woman on YouTube. You know, and it's messed up. So that's the reason why when I you know, and then he called himself a journalist. You gotta go to school for being a journalist. So wait a minute, wait a minute. First he said that he has a degree in psychology, but then he turns around and said, well, because somebody got on and they was asking, asking him a question. He said, well, because I'm a journalist. No, you got to go to school for that. Remember, he's a YouTube entertainer. That's what he does. He thrives on controversy, but he using our people as a crutch. But he don't talk about the lives that he destroyed. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we're not talking about him downing sisters. Yes, you do have some ratchet women out here. Just like you got some ratchet brothers out here. You know, that's true. But the point I'm trying to make is that his house is not cleaned up. And I always tell this: make sure your house is cleaned up before you criticize other people. That's why he didn't never want to debate me. When there was a time when he and Craig, you know this, right, Craig?
Right. Yeah, I'm listening.
Remember he put up that picture of me?
Yeah.
And because he said he was harassing me to debate him. When I called him up, I brought that up. I said, yo, you know that white girl got you twisted. And he went off. He said, oh, if you don't, and so he cut me off. He said, oh, if you don't like my show, don't call back no more. But now all of a sudden, now he wants to debate now. Oh, anybody could call. Anybody has a problem with debate me. But when I didn't want to debate you, you didn't want to debate me.
Yeah, he's only going to debate you on his platform, though. Right. You already know that.
But he only going to debate you unless he know he got something over you. He's not going to debate you. Like if I bring that up to him, he has to explain to me why he destroyed those women's lives like that. If you didn't want to have children by those women, by those same black women that you talked about, why did you have children by them? Why you just didn't wear a condom? Why you didn't wear protection? If I didn't want to have children, I'm wearing protection. You can't have a baby by how you can't control it. You can't put your seed in a woman and expect her not to keep on baby. That's sick. So he has to explain that to me. But I know he won't have an explanation. But he'll think something. He'll say something stupid and expect me to believe it. So that's what I'm saying. I just want you to know, have you had any issues with the brother or anything like that with him?
I've made a few videos. Matter of fact, just to put his name in the title, not even talking about him, but I put his name in the video to get his attention. But I don't think he wants to come this direction, because I do. No. He keeps talking about these people put my name in their videos and blah 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 blah, and they this and that. But he never talks about me. All these other people do this. Like him and the Advice Show was going back and forth at one time, and I started doing the same thing that the Advice Show was doing. I was making videos about him. This Negro made 10 videos about me and blah blah blah. Well, I made 20. Talk about me. Bring it. I want you to bring it. I call into the show. Never get online. I don't play that stuff. So you just keep doing you, sir, or whatever. But he's very arrogant, and he's nasty, vulgar. I said, how the hell you got the nerve to talk about somebody as ratchet as you are? Then he turns around and makes statements like, I wish there was some more George Zimmermans and kill some more of these niggas.
Yeah, see? Yep.
Stuff like that. See, really,
but I want to address something too.
Yeah.
It's funny that he says this, But didn't that guy, yo, Craig, correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
Didn't Vlad set him up?
Oh, you say didn't Black set him up?
Vlad TV, the white guy, the white so-called Jew.
Oh, Vlad. Oh, you're talking about Vlad TV. Yeah.
He set him up. That's how Taalik almost checked him.
Yeah.
Yep.
He called Taalik Rashida. He said, yo, come to the show. He's here. So
that was wild.
he takes up for white folks, not knowing that white people hate him too. and you're gonna isolate yourself from your own people where you're vulnerable like that. That's I don't want nobody set me up, especially no white person set me up like that.
He wants the celebrity though. He's gonna go because he's chasing fame and fortune. He wants to be like Walter Cronkite or some damn body.
But wait a minute, but you know what killed me? You know what killed me, brother? What he said. You could tell. I mean, it's the slave came out of him, right, Craig? He said, if you watch the video, he said, you set me up, right, Vlad? Why'd you set me up, man? Why you set me up? Like he laughed, like a slave master, like the slave master, like, oh master, why you do that? That's messed up, master. But that's how he did it to Vlad. Right. If that was a brother, he wouldn't be laughing and asking him a question. He'd have been like, yo, he would have got at that brother like, yo, you set me up like that, why, But he's laughing. That's not funny. I want to be laughing like that. Yeah. Oh, yo, come on, Vlad, you set me up, man. You set me up. Come on, man. Yeah.
He treated Sanetta, and Sanetta didn't have nothing to do with him getting punched in the face or whatever.
That had nothing to do. Remember, he came there only to see Polite. First of all, he wasn't even invited at all. Mm-hmm. He said he was going to stop by. It's in his video. I'm not making this up. It's in his video. He said, I'm going to stop by because to see Polite. I'm going to say hello to Polite, and I'm going to leave. Mm-hmm. That was his mission. First of all, he went straight into the lion's den. I don't know what he was thinking of going to go there. I mean, because you got to understand, this is what Craig, he understands too. A lot of brothers just come from the streets.
Right.
A lot of brothers still love their mama.
Yeah.
A lot of brothers still love their sister. And they looking at, hey, man, that could have been my sister you could have been yelling at. That could have been my mother you could have been yelling at. Okay, so what? She hit your car. So what? It was about mistake. She could have lost control or whatever the case is. You didn't know the situation. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't like the fact how he attacked this woman on the video when he claimed the woman hit his car. Mm-hmm. He claimed the woman was trying to kill him. To him, I don't know. But she could have lost control of the car. We don't know.
Happens every day.
It happens every day. Yeah. So he's calling her, oh bitch, that's why I don't fuck with your black bitches.
Yeah, right.
And then he threatened her. He said, oh, I got something in the car, bitch. Yeah. I got something in the car. Now I heard what she said. She didn't threaten this man. She didn't threaten this man. He just automatically think, oh, her mouth is going to get her. I'm going to do the same thing what the white cops are doing. I'm going to get something in my car and I'm going to shoot her dead. Mm. This is what he was thinking. And he recorded this and put this on YouTube. Like, dude, you know that's suicide. You just committed suicide. And then you worry about somebody punching your face. You're lucky nobody didn't kill you right there.
Yeah, he was really, he was lucky because, especially if he had done that in the 80s when I was there.
Oh, forget about it.
Them brothers, it's been a done deal. He just would have been end up missing in the river somewhere.
80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And 90s.
New York, that place, they don't play.
Oh no, they would have killed him. They would have killed him. You don't say that. You don't go into the lion's den. And first of all, the brother was very, very nice about it. Even though he showed him the video, he said, he said, look, that was wrong what you did, blah, 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 blah. Tommy walked away from, which that was a big mistake he shouldn't have did. You don't ever walk away like that. Because a lot of brothers take that as a disrespect. But he walked away, he said, oh, well, I don't need to talk to you then. And he walks away. So then, instead of just leaving, they wouldn't touch him if he would just left. He said, look, he should have told his man. First of all, Tommy didn't come by himself. He had a bodyguard with him, / cameraman, right? And Tommy should do, he should have whipped his bodyguard's ass. Because my thing is like this: if you came here to protect me, and you the first thing you want to do is want drinks. Remember that was in a cab? He said, "Oh, well, time to get some drinks."
Yeah.
I would put his ass right in this car. I said, "Look, I got punched in the face, and you think about getting drunk, getting boozed up." So that's why I would have been pissed off.
I mean, just like we was talking about, you said, this is YouTube entertainment. The whole thing ain't real. The whole thing is garbage anyway. And the only reason why he's bothering.
He initiated.
Yeah, but the only reason why he's even bothered with something that and polite on, he wants to try to put himself in that category, like he's black conscious. He part of this. Man, no, you're not gonna fit, dude. You are a square peg. You're not gonna go in this round hole. Matter of fact, I myself, people know where I stand,
right?
But I fit more so than he ever would ever.
Right.
Well, that's actually where I come from. I've been part of this thing before some of y'all was even born. Some of y'all was doing my thing. Hell, I'm 9 years old, and it was mandatory for me to stand up and pledge allegiance to the flag. I said, I'll be damned. By myself. I'm a little boy. You got to stand up for I ain't standing up for a damn thing. Y'all did this to my people. I'm by myself. Out of 900 some children in the school, I'm the only one wouldn't stand up for the flag, the flag. And then they called my mother, and my mother said, "That's his thing. If you don't, my mother didn't."
Exactly. That has nothing to do. Right. She's right. She got that's a political choice.
Yeah.
They tell you to stand. They want you to stand, but you know what? It's funny they tell you that, but they want people to choose Democrat or Republican. I don't understand that. And why is black people being Democrats anyway? Do black people know the history of being Democrat? The Democrats go with the KKK. Now you got 95% of black people are Democrats.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. And Lincoln was the one supposed to free the slaves. He was a Republican.
He was a Republican, and that's how blacks went with the Republican route. Dr. King was a Republican.
Man, I talked to a sister before, and I broke it down to her. I told her that both parties are one and the same, and she still was talking about that she was voting for Hillary Clinton. But she basically put it like this. She was like, okay, I would rather Hillary Clinton, somebody to lie to my face and pretend that she's my friend, than a person that's just going to keep it real to you and just tell you straight up I'm a racist.
Wow. Unbelievable.
You gotta laugh. You wanna know something? Hey, you wanna know something? I'm gonna tell you. Some of this stuff, you got to laugh to keep from crying because it's just so pathetic and it's so.
It is.
See, that's what I mean. Brother Craig it was almost like going to the comedy club. Was it you telling us a joke? I started laughing.
This is serious. This is definitely serious. Yep.
I believe it. I believe it. That's true. I believe it.
Oh, wow.
What do you feel about reparations?
If we was messing with the right people, we should have got reparations a long time ago. But see, I understand that we're dealing with criminals. They criminals. You can't expect to get reparations from criminals. You can't expect to get reparations from somebody that don't give a damn about you, that hate your guts.
And I remember it was a video you did a while back. You said, "Thief don't owe."
Yeah.
You did say that.
Yeah. See, it's just like this. If I did something to you and I hurt you, because I have a good heart, I want to see you get well. Even though maybe I can't afford it, if I hit your car or whatever, I'm going to do the best thing I can, try to get you back on your feet and repair the damage that I caused you. That's what a person that's honest, they got a good heart. But when you're dealing with people that's dishonest, I want to try to avoid this big bill. And plus, they also know if they gave us the reparations, which really, there's no real dollar amount. They couldn't pay it anyway, really. They could not repay for the damages that this nation has caused to us as a people. There's no money. However, they so messed up in their mentality. A lot of them think that they giving you something, you know, and they don't want you to get more than them. You know, it reminds me of little children. Okay, you come in from outside and your mother give you a cookie. Okay, you got your cookie, now you go. So the other children haven't had their cookie yet, and the other children come get their cookie. You already had your cookie, but here come this sucker that already had a cookie. I want a cookie too. You already had your cookie, and get to crying and hollering and screaming. You already had your damn cookie. You made millions and billions of dollars off the slave trade for over 300 some years. Not to add the money that you got from Jim Crow and things of that nature. And the what's the other thing? Anyway, they was making money. They made money off of us even after the Civil War.
Right.
So, you know, you've already gotten yours.
Socialism. What, you know, they said they don't want to be a socialist country, but didn't white people, when the Europeans came to this head of the household.
Okay, there you go.
Well, if he would have came over this country, he automatically get 50 acres of land.
Right.
He get a grant. You know, or if he had to pay, or if he paid his way of coming over here. If somebody came over here on credit, he would have to work it off. But the land would still be free. Called the Head Rights Program. From the United States government. Only the Europeans, white males, had got that. Poor, and that's how a lot of whites had gained power because of that, and gained wealthy because of the land. Right. After they wiped out all the Native Indians, they had all this land.
Of course. We got to make sure, because there was already somebody on the land. We got to get them off. Also, I think to that, because I was looking at a post on one of my groups, and somebody was talking about the Homestead Act. This was something I forgot when it actually started, but the Homestead Act went all the way to 1972. Still giving Europeans free land.
Wow.
Now mind you, as they push west, and then after slavery, a lot of black folks went west too. A lot of us, our people got free land too, trying to settle the West.
Right.
But over a period of time, as you know, a lot of us got ripped off.
Right, that's true.
Our land, you know, even farmland. You know, they ripped us off. They stole. They found ways to get that stuff from us.
Right.
You know, things of that nature. And we want to still continue to be around some devils, these evil, wicked people. Now, I will tell you this. I treat people the way that I want to be treated.
Right.
So there's nothing hateful towards Caucasian people. But when you're trying to play me for a fool, you know, when you're trying to play me for a fool and you hinder my development, we got a problem. I don't want to hear that stuff. We have a better relationship with these crackers like alt-right and the one that's protesting outright. You have a better relationship with them. At least they out in the open and telling you.
Right.
Our main problem is these ones that's behind housing discrimination, the ones that's letting the murderers loose, the ones that's teaching in these schools. They're the ones that you got to watch for.
Right.
The ones that's out here, that's out in the open, they don't control nothing. They don't run nothing.
They don't. Yeah, they don't.
Most of them is poor trash.
Right.
Well, their own people will consider them poor white trash.
Right.
Their own people. It's not coming from me.
Right.
I done heard Caucasian people call themselves, you know, other ones, and you ain't nothing but poor white trash.
Yeah, that's true. You go on YouTube. That's they say it. That's true.
Yeah. Rednecks.
Yeah, that's true.
I done heard Caucasian people call themselves Peckerwood.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so
all that's on YouTube. You can look on YouTube. They say that. That's true.
So, you know, so that's not no language that's coming from me. That's what they call themselves, you know. So whatever, they would, and they would call another Caucasian a nigger lover if it looked like you trying to do something to help the Negro.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
I've heard that. Yeah.
But
yeah.
But I treat people the way that I want to be treated. It's not about hate. It's about justice. Don't play no game with me. You know, if you don't want to be real with me, then don't be. I mean, just be yourself. I've had subscribers that claim to be Nazis and all this other stuff, and I belong to the KKK. But my relationship with them, we was cool.
Right.
I was locked up with skinheads. We was cool. Sure was. Me and the skinhead guy, we was cool.
Well, didn't Marcus Garvey had spoke to the KKK? Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know a lot of history about Marcus Garvey. I know that Elijah Muhammad was having talks about getting land. It was what's his name? Stoner. He was the head of the Ku Klux Klan at that time, and was talking about, you know, getting a deal and giving the nation some land. So, you know, and then they condemned Elijah Muhammad. You messing with the Ku Klux Klan. The whole nation is the Ku Klux Klan. Who so the hell what? like it's a difference.
Right, exactly.
At least these guys want to give you what you want. You say you want your own land, you want to be separate.
Right.
At least they're giving you what you want. The government races don't want to give you a damn thing. They want to play some kind of silly game with you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
they different, but they are like, you got the KKK, you got the skinheads. They different, but they, even though they both are Christian hateful groups. Yeah. They might operate differently, but they still the same people. You know, as far as being a hateful group, a racist hateful group, but they operate differently. Like the skinheads look down on the KKK. They think they are better or upgrade or version or a hate group, I guess.
Guess what? Both of them together is nothing compared to the United States of America, the hate nation.
Right.
A hate group ain't nothing compared to a hate nation. If it wasn't for the hate nation, you wouldn't have the hate groups. This nation is that of hate. Enslavement. They made slavery legal.
And they didn't want to end it. They didn't want to end it.
And you're right.
Because England ended their slavery way before, like, was it 100 years later or something like that? Before America ended theirs? Yeah. When did England end their slavery?
I don't know. A lot of those European nations or whatever ended slavery.
Right.
You know?
But America didn't want to end it.
Matter of fact, America actually, total slavery in America did not end after the Civil War.
No.
It still kept going on.
Jim Crow was slavery. Well,
actually, I think it didn't really come to an end till 1867. That's true. And then also remember, the Native Americans on reservations had slaves. And they had to make a deal with the Native Americans in order to stop slavery on reservations, because, you know, reservations don't have to abide by the law of the United States government. They got their own thing going.
Right.
So they had to come up with a deal to stop the slavery on Native American reservations.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, it's you know, but don't bull crap me. Be open and honest with me. I treat people the way that I want to be treated. I saw a young Caucasian child, putting nothing but a little boy. He was crying. He wanted some bubble gum out the machine. I put a quarter in there, gave him his bubble gum. Now we shut up. No big deal. So what? You know, no big deal. You treat a human being, you treat another person the way that you want to be treated. However, again, you get in my way of development. You want to hurt me. Now it's a different
problem. It's a problem.
We got a big problem. The things that we have to deal with, these shootings, these racist police killing us, and these officers getting off. Now, I used to feel sad, brothers, about these things, but you get what you ask for. You want to continue to live with these crackers? You want to continue to live this way? I can't feel sorry for you no more, you know. And then what really kills me is when the parents talk about, y'all settle down, you know. You know, I forgive them. Like they shot that dude. silly, evil little cracker boy killed all them people in that church. 7 people.
Oh yeah. And they forget, and they gonna tell me, the kids gonna tell me, oh, we forgive them. What?
Yeah, I turned the TV away. For real, I turned the TV away. I don't even see, you get what you deserve.
Wow.
I just made a video talking about Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin, if he was my son, let me tell you something. See, that's why I don't have children, because I knew what I was going to be dealing with in the future. Because if they had killed my son like that, that cracker devil, whatever the hell he, half Mexican, whatever the Jew, whatever the hell, I don't know what the hell George Zimmerman is. But if he had done that to my son, shot my baby in the heart like that,
he's gonna be found. He's gonna be found.
He's gonna have a serious problem.
Yeah. He ain't gonna get away with that.
I would swear that I would make an oath. Matter of fact, I made a video about why black folks don't like to take revenge. Because you remember the old Kung Fu movies? You killed my father. I take an oath of revenge.
Yeah.
We don't believe in stuff like that. Unless it's a Negro.
Yeah, we do it to each other.
Oh, yeah, we do it to each other. God killed my father. I swear I'll get God. We'll do that to each other. But when it comes to these other suckers, we just hold back. Oh, God will do this, and the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. All this old crazy stuff. We don't take oaths. You killed my son, I swear on all heaven, I'll get revenge. We don't do stuff like that.
And we have a lot and what's up with these black gangs? And I'm surprised all those black gangs in Florida, and you mean to tell me they couldn't band together and look for this dude and take matters in their own hands? All these black gangs in America?
You want to know something? I don't blame black gangs, and because some of our people, they are ruthless. They'll take care of business.
Right.
I don't blame them for getting involved, because if Trayvon Martin's parents don't give a damn about their own son, why should I get involved in it?
Yeah, that's true too. I see.
Trayvon Martin has a father, he has uncles, have all kinds of male relatives. If they don't give a damn, talk about everybody cool down, keep
yeah, that's
they
true.
don't give a damn, why the hell should I give a damn?
Right, I understand.
So I'm not gonna put myself like that, and then I go to jail and get killed. The family said, "Oh, that was a damn shame. I told them don't do that." The hell with them. And then a lot of them get money, because Trayvon's parents got money from they got a settlement from that housing project.
They call it hush money.
Yeah. They got money from that. And a lot of these brothers and sisters, their families get this money from these people's deaths. And they go to Disneyland and whatever. They buy houses and cars.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't even hear these people's names no more.
I know. Exactly. That's true. But that's the deal.
But I'm not going to don't get me involved. I'm not into that. You ain't going to get me caught up in that stuff. I'm not going to give my life and suffer. And the family themselves don't want to. They're not going to do nothing about it. The hell with that. I used to be like that, but I'm not doing that no more.
I agree.
There's no benefit. There's no benefit to it. If your own daddy and mama don't give a damn, why should the hell should I feel sorry?
And then it's funny. I'm glad you brought that up, because I always wondered, damn, you don't hear the names no more. You don't hear the family. No. They still outraged. They still where's the depression?
Yeah.
Because if you lost a son, especially if that's your only son.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be evil. I ain't gonna care about nothing. I'll be like, I'll get on national TV. I'll be social. We're gonna find this dude, and we're gonna have to kill him.
Yeah.
And if the cops, they can do whatever they want. But I said, no, you can there's not enough money in the world to shut me up.
Right. That's right.
That money's already owed to me anyway.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm not going to sit around here. And matter of fact, that's our MO. That's our method of operation. We get upset for a few seconds, and then you don't hear nothing. There's a lot. Sean Bell, you don't hear about that no more.
I never heard of it. Yeah. It's history. It's more like
it's history. You just get mad for a few seconds, and I was talking to one of my associates, one of my sisters, and I was telling her about how I feel. She said, "Lord, I hope nobody kill your son." I said, you think you have a problem with me because that's the way I feel about my flesh and blood? You gonna kill my boy, shoot him in the heart because my boy kicking your ass? You the one messing with my son. The only thing he wanted to do was get a snack and go home. Right. That's what my boy and shoot him in the heart with your coward ass. No.
And that was a man. George Zimmerman was 23, 24 years old. Trayvon was only 17. He was a kid.
Yeah, he was a child.
He was a minor. So he shot a minor.
Shot a minor. That's right. No matter how.
And nobody never looked at it that way.
I keep telling him that he shot a child. He was still a minor.
He's still a child. Yes.
Then
if I slap someone's child, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
Even if that child was getting out of line, if I slap that child,
it will.
That parents would got me locked up. How did George Zimmerman get away from that? I have no idea.
Oh, that's nothing, man. Did y'all hear about the story where the off-duty cop ran over the little, I think she was like 8 or 9 year old girl, and
hell no, I didn't hear that.
And her father, off-duty cop, man. I think he was speeding, doing something. He ran over this little young girl. She was under 10, and the father attacked him. Like the father, like, goddamn, like you killed my daughter, and attacked him and shit. Off-duty cop, like what he calls in self-defense, shit, put out his weapon and fucking shot the man dead.
Oh my God!
And got off. But luckily, the little girl survived. She was messed up pretty bad, but luckily she survived. But yeah, the off-duty cop killed that the father, and he got off.
Wow.
Self-defense.
Self-defense.
Yep. Yeah, it was like a little 3 or 4 year old little baby right in Detroit, Michigan. It was like a drug raid in the police. Y'all probably heard of this.
What's the name?
It was like a drug raid. It was a little young baby. It was like a drug raid, and the police busted in or whatever and killed the little black girl or whatever and got off, scot free.
And we want to continue. We want to continue to live in this type of environment. Like the scriptures say, we want to continue to live in the valley of the shadow of death. Because that's all that it is. It could be you, any of us. Who knows? It could be any of us tomorrow. Yeah,
that's true.
I'm in a position in an environment because of my job. I come in contact with these police officers all the time and get pulled over and whatever. I have to wonder. Is this it? Is what it is? I have to wonder about that. And I have to live like that kind of stress. And you wonder why we having heart attacks and high blood pressures and the kind of life that you have to live. Can you wonder? It reminds me, if you are a chicken and they throw you in a place with foxes. And you just walking around, you wonder which one of these suckers gonna attack me and try to eat me. That's how it is with us.
Yeah.
You don't know what this particular cracker might do. You don't know what is on his mind.
We have no protection in anything, and economically, politically, we have no protection. And this is something. And that's why I wish we didn't put Barack Obama in office, because that's what black people thought he was going to do. They thought he was going to save black folks.
Yeah,
he
right.
did the exact opposite. He turned his back on black people. All them police shootings.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me he never put a law in place and said next time a cop shoots somebody, an unknown person, they're gonna get the max. Because their job is supposed to uphold the law. And when you go up against the law, you're going to get way more time than the average person on the street. And he could pass that law, but he chose not to. He decided to stay out of it.
I never expected nothing out of Barack Obama. I mean, he's a mulatto anyway. He was raised by Europeans basically or whatever. Come on. He's not. I never expected a lot out of him. And, especially with, when you interviewed him and they had those debates and whatever, you could tell the only reason why they rallied around him was because of his dark skin.
Right.
That's all. That's all.
That's basically what it was.
A feel-good moment.
Yeah.
It's just like the religious teachings and all this other stuff, a lot of us made you feel so good. Oh,
it was a church in politics, man. That's all.
Yeah. You know, it was the political way of watching a porno film, I guess. Now, I will admit, I mean, it's a beautiful picture because him and Michelle and the daughters, I mean, it's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And really, I mean, I think he did bring dignity to the office. He held himself up, you know, with high self-esteem and dignity. And I mean, he didn't really do nothing as far as his behavior and how he, you know, held, you know, carried himself. You know, I think that was really nice. But overall, I mean, I didn't expect nothing fantastic out of the guy. I mean, it was no shock to me. It was just a show.
In his first term, I actually had like a little bit of hope for him. Like, I mean, I thought he would do something for black people. No,
actually, if you wanted some hope, it should have been in the second term because you going out. You can only do 2 terms.
Right.
Now you can really make some moves. This the end anyway.
Yeah.
Barack didn't do a damn thing, regardless.
Then when I really started researching him and stuff, and when I saw when he was against reparations, you know, like he got into office, man, and did like all of this for like the illegal immigrants.
Don't forget the $20 million
for the LBGT. You know what I'm saying? White women's rights. You know, just another Democrat. That's all.
Yeah. Don't forget the reparations he gave. He extended the reparations of the Jewish community.
Okay, yeah, that too. He's just a Democrat, man.
Why are Jews getting reparations from America?
Because of the internment camps. I mean, man, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Why is America paying reparations to the state of Israel? You know.
Yeah, I guess as good as mine. I know the Germans already paid theirs, but yeah, you could look that up. You could Google that. He gave him $20 million.
But I mean, but again, when it comes to us, you're dealing with criminals. They hate your guts. We ain't did a damn thing to these people. Matter of fact, we've been a benefit more than a detriment. And but they hate your guts. You're not gonna get nothing from a criminal people. They are criminals. So your best bet is just really to get away from them. But again, it makes no sense to get away from them just to go somewhere else where now your oppressor is got dark skin who might be worse than these people. At least we know where they stand. You know, because I wouldn't go nowhere where the Nation of Islam is in charge. I wouldn't go.
No.
I'd rather stay with. I would be begging. I would be on my knees begging. Believe it. Please let me stay in America. Please, I don't want to go with these crazy Muslim Negroes. Please.
That's right.
I would not go nowhere where these Kemetic people and Hebrew Israelites that they run something. No. Do you see how crazy those Hebrew Israelites look? They dressed up in these costumes or whatever. Then I guess they want everybody to wear that kind of stuff. I'm like, Lord, I'll be out there doing the same.
They're gonna try to force their religion on you.
That's what they're gonna do.
Right. Yeah. Nah,
they're gonna force their religion on you.
So I mean, like, do we have any black leader? Is there any black leadership that's really legit out here?
Right here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But as far as these other people are concerned, a lot of them have sold out. They fallen victim to celebrity, self-grandizement and praise, and they the women and the drugs and the liquor and whatever else out there, they don't fell victim to it. A lot of them started out legit.
Right.
But then just like Farrakhan, the honorable, all this stuff started going to your head.
Right.
And to believe the hype. And Public Enemy told us back in that 90s, don't believe the hype. But we do. And you believe you more than what you are. But I guarantee you can believe more than what you are. But believe me, when the casket gets to put you in the ground, you're gonna find out exactly you're not as great as you thought you were. That's why I love death. People say I'm crazy when I say that. No, I love death. I love death because death don't give a damn if you're a little baby, or you grown, or you Caucasian, or whatever you are. Death treats all the same. It does not discriminate. That's why I like death. Death don't care if you're rich or you're poor or nothing. it's fair. That's a damn shame. The only way you can get treated fair, you have to die. The only way you can get some peace, you got to die.
That's true. Yep.
Why you can't have that while you're alive?
Exactly.
And so you can enjoy it.
Exactly. I want to enjoy heaven on while I'm living. That's so true.
Yeah. You know, but that's all this ministry represents. I just want to see you happy. We don't need to spend all the time running around here arguing over and debating on beliefs and stuff. Like, you can have your belief. I just want you to be happy. We can figure all this other stuff out later. You need to understand how we can come up under one umbrella. That's why I always call us the people of soul, because we can be soul sisters and brothers, and you can still be Kemetic, but you still got soul. You can be a Hebrew Israelite, but you can still have soul. You need an umbrella that everybody can come up under one umbrella. Just like the United States of America. It's one nation, but it's filled with various different kinds of folk. These Caucasian people don't agree with everything they say. They don't do that. They argue, bicker, and argue all the time. But they under one nation, they say, under God. And that's what we have to do. That's why I concentrate on our uniqueness, what we all have in common, and come up under that umbrella as one people. Right now, we've never been a people. We said that we're a people. We've never been a people. Ever since coming up out of chattel slavery, you know you weren't a people during slavery. You was a damn slave. So out of chattel slavery, we didn't group as a people. This group went over here. This group went over there. That's why in the South, when we were suffering under Jim Crow, if we was a people, when they was catching hell in the South, the people in the South should have immediately got help and assistance from the North, the East, and the West. But we in groups. Oh, that's them Negroes' problem. That's Jim Crow. You want to do better, get your ass in your wagon and come south. I mean, come north. Come west. That's the way we played it. But if we was a people, if you in trouble, I'm getting in my old Cadillac, guy in trouble, gotta go. Honey, if I don't come back, it might get thick, you know. I die helping a brother.
Yeah, but we can do it. It's just that people, you know, black folks today is too scared, and we don't have warriors no more.
Well,
you know,
it's the
our
leadership.
warriors are either dead or incarcerated.
But our leadership, the current leadership, brother God, they're not gravitating to people in that type of direction. They listen to all these people. The leadership, the people that we follow are divisive. They don't care. They looking at themselves, what I want. I don't want to team up with you, brother God, because you might take my shine away from me. You might take some of my followers. So now I can't live as lavishly as I was.
Right.
You know, that's what they scared of. See, that's what they are sheep easily led by another sheep that's really a wolf in sheep's clothing. And that's what we got to show. We got to come here and we got to be consistent. We got to make these Google Hangouts so that people can see how the real operate. I don't want your money. And if I do get your money, I'm going to show you. It's not going to take a long time. I'm going to show you what we can do when we come together. Because I'm not putting the pressure on myself. I'm going to show you what we, not I, can do. Because, you know, Umar Johnson, he's the prince of Pan-Africanism. It's all about what I can do. No, this is about what we can do. I'm going to show you what we do, what our hands can do, what our brains, plural, can do. That's what it's about. And I don't want our brains to go to sleep because I know it's 1 o'clock y'all time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm about to get out of here soon. But I want to say this.
Yes, sir.
Is that, you know, I always try to do right is try to support my people, you know, and, you know, I want to show you this real quick.
Yeah.
You know, I always want to show that, you know, these brothers are selling candles and stuff. Yeah. So, I did do an online, people are trying to do an online business, you know what I mean? So I ordered these candles with the RBG on it with Garvey and Sister Harriet Tubman and Brother Garvey, you know what I mean? So, you know, I just wanted to show that, you know, that why not, instead of buying candles, just, I mean, it could be candle soap or whatever.
Yeah.
To a person, to people who don't really, who going to take their money, going to enrich their neighborhood. Why not support your own people?
Right.
And enrich them so we could be a better neighbor. We just got to look after one, because at the end of the day, we all we got.
That's right. That's all we got.
And another thing, you have said something very interesting. Next time if somebody kill one of our family, we have to have this attitude. We gotta have this I don't give a fuck attitude.
Yeah.
That would make me the man of the day. And I thanks to hip hop, because hip hop got me to say I don't give a fuck about nothing. That's it. No more Mr. Nice Guy. If somebody punched me in my face, I'm gonna hit back. We gotta carry that same type of mentality. When somebody gun our children down, we gotta get on social media or whatever to say, hey, you know what? They killed my son or they killed my daughter. It's war. That's it. War. Trust me, somebody is gonna help. Somebody's gonna say, somebody's gonna stand with you. Be like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Even if it could be a two of y'all. Let's roll.
Yeah. And
no cop, no army, no Marines, no Al Sharpton is not going to tell me to calm down. It's not going to happen. And that's another thing about that airhead Al Sharpton. He needed to shut up, because he was the one who was telling those people, Trayvon family, to chill, you know, Mike Brown, no. He always do that because he's getting paid.
Yeah.
He sold out.
Yeah.
So I don't have no respect for him no more. I used to respect that guy when he was fat. I'm talking about the fat Al Sharpton.
Yeah, when he was fat.
Yeah, he was a radical, but he's a different person now. Now he's dating younger girls 3-4 times his age and shit like that.
Crazy.
He had a beautiful wife that he was with for a long time, but I guess.
Yeah, that really got me right there when I saw that picture with him with the female he's old enough to be the grandfather.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, what kind of message he sending?
Sure. Yeah, taking pictures half naked. Like I think he posted it on, I forgot, he posted it on some social network. Remember you were talking about that, those pictures of him like damn near naked.
He had this one, he taking selfies with his he had these little kid shorts that was up to his knees. I don't know what the fuck. Yeah. He looked like an old ass kid.
But it seemed like it always leads back to the same thing. It's like once black people, I mean, no matter how like radical they are, like in the beginning, once they become like getting a position of leadership, man, they just get greedy. They get greedy, they get corrupt, and they just lose touch with the people. Like, I don't know. Like that's just always the narrative. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I hate when people say, well, you know, these people are old and these people, their fire been burnt out. Let me tell you something. So tell me about this. If that's the truth, if like you had what's his name, Nelson Mandela, they said, well, you know, he wasn't the same man. You know, they broke him or whatever. I think you had said this when we was on the phone. You said he wasn't the same man, which he was just true. You know, they probably broke him. But you know what about the old KKK guys? They old. They still had that hatred. They still carried that burning fire of, you know, I still wish we could have just enslaved black people again and using the N-word and all this other stuff. You know, their fire keep going till their grave. Why is black folks, like people like Al Sharpton and Louis Farrakhan and these guys, they get up age and all of a sudden they're sweet, they're nice. All of a sudden, all the white people is their friend now. You know, why is that? You know, KKK guy, he don't think like that.
Well, let me say this about, you know, Nelson Mandela. You know, I think we talked about that.
Right.
These old KKK guys, they wasn't sent to prison and they wasn't busting rocks for 30 years. So
okay,
so they can afford to hate, real, you know, for a long time. Their energy is never been tested like that. Nelson was actually breaking rocks for 30 years.
okay. So okay, what about Farrakhan?
For Farrakhan, I can't speak for Farrakhan. I can't speak for these other cats out here. You know, they just got to the point where I'm old. I want to enjoy my grandchildren. I want to die in peace. You know, that's whatever. I can't speak.
Okay, all right, but Nelson Mandela, he's an exception to the rule. I give you that.
I would
But
say
what about the other old dudes, other old so-called revolution brothers?
because I'm telling you, now see, being a person who's been incarcerated myself. Now I wasn't on no rocks or nothing like that, but just the fact that you was incarcerated, man, you just don't know. Now I was incarcerated for 10 years. Nelson was breaking rocks for 30, almost 30 years. I can't imagine that 10 years that I was incarcerated, and I wasn't doing manual labor or nothing like that. But believe me, it wears you. I mean, it messes you up.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
and
I
it
agree.
gets to the point. Look, it got to the point where when it got close to time for me to be released, I was actually scared because 10 years, that's all that I know for 10 years. So this is the only life Nelson known for 30 years. And who knows what kind of torture they put that man through? Who knows? I wasn't tortured like that, but just the fact that I was locked up like that, I had became institutionalized. I had to force myself to want to get out of there. I was comfortable. I was institutionalized in there. I was scared because the day was steady coming to the point where, okay, we're getting ready to release you. I didn't tell nobody. You couldn't tell by the way I talked or whatever, but I would be in my room shaking. What I'm gonna do? You know, because things done changed. The streets done changed. They done tore buildings down. They done put buildings up. You know, I have more relatives. My nieces and nephews, they done had children and all this stuff within the 10-year period. They was teenagers when I went in. They grown with children of their own. You know, things done changed and stuff. I don't have no job. How am I gonna take care of myself? You know, I was shaking. I'm like, well,
I see what you're saying. Right.
Maybe I need to change my mind. I'm all right, really. I was trying to, for real, I had to try to justify why I needed, because the only thing I had to do was slap somebody, do something silly, and they would have just kept me there.
Right, that's true.
And I was thinking, who could I slap real quick, who I don't like? I could enjoy myself and stay. For real. But I knew I had to get out of that situation because I was better than that. But it's a scary, you know, being locked up like that. You know, it wears you down.
Yeah,
now,
I agree.
You know, Farrakhan said, you know, he always bragged, I barely had a speeding ticket. You know, I can't speak for them guys, you know, Al Sharpton, except they own, and they said, woo, they didn't shoot me. I want to be, I want to enjoy my grandchildren and, you know, enjoy life before I kill over. I can't speak for them. I don't know. You need to talk to one of their followers. I'm pretty sure they'd be happy to, you know, convert us out. Me myself, I can't. I don't know. I don't know the reason why.
But the funny thing about Farrakhan wasn't Farrakhan. Farrakhan was a snake at a younger age, though, wasn't he? Like when he was involved with
Malcolm's day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Farrakhan, that's not nothing new.
But see, but those guys also is different from Nelson Mandela because it was clear to the enemy that they were no threat. Because when Elijah Muhammad died, when Martin Luther King was murdered, Farrakhan didn't step up. Jesse Jackson, all those guys. Matter of fact, a lot of them got government jobs. Andrew Young and what's his name? They are senators and representatives. Even Bobby Seale, you know, he's a representative in Chicago. You know, here you are fighting the government. Now you part of the government. I guess they said if you can't beat them, join them. Yeah. Let me get a young woman, a 23-year-old woman with my old ass, and let me live it up. I don't give a damn what y'all say about me when I'm dead. I'm gonna enjoy myself right now.
Right.
The hell with you, man. I don't care about you. Go away. Whatever. I don't care about what you're talking about. I can't speak for them, but I know for myself, you know, as far as Nelson was concerned, I understand that you know, that hell he went through you know, that's a hellified thing. I'm gonna tell you myself, I'm tired from that fighting them damn people for 10 years. That's a hellified thing. For real, I'm tired from that still. I had to fight these people 24. They never left you alone. They mess with you 24 hours a day. Constantly messing with you, trying to break you. So I could, you know, I can even imagine what Nelson Mandela went through. It never stopped. There's no break for you. They mess with you. They might wake you up in the middle of the night for some stupid reason. Messing with you. So, you know, I understand Nelson. The other guys, I can't.
Yeah, because they never, you know, you don't hear them getting locked up and serving all this time. So, but they had that fire in the beginning, and all of a sudden, now it's something they, you know, I'm old, and you know, like, Al Sharpton, he don't have that fire no more. These guys used to be radical brothers.
Yeah, they were. Farrakhan in the 80s.
Oh, forget about it.
He was talking some rough stuff.
Yes, he was. He was.
But after a while, next thing you know, because what Khalid Muhammad, what Khalid Muhammad got busted for, Farrakhan said in the early 80s, he didn't say nothing no different than what Farrakhan said in the early 80s. Right. But Farrakhan justified, well, we don't do that no more, because he tried to pretend, I've grown since then. The teachings have changed. Right. Islam, Khalid didn't represent the teachings in Islam. Yeah, get the hell out of here, you dude. You're a punk. That's what it is. You done punked out. That's basically what that happened. You done punked out. You worried about what the Jews, who give a damn what the Jews think? That's your brother. That's your man. You're supposed to stand behind.
Exactly.
And he sold him out.
Yeah.
Just the same way he did Malcolm. The same. Talking about that's my brother. You sold Malcolm out and you sold Khalid out.
Damn sure did.
You know, so the hell, you know, so Farrakhan can't be trusted. And I'm just gonna have to say it the way that it is. He cannot be trusted, and he's incompetent. 40 years, and what do the Nation of Islam got?
Nope, nothing, not a damn thing.
They don't have nothing.
And Chicago's still a mess.
Yeah, and they keep talking about doing for self. I said, the only thing y'all do is beg for money. What doing for self are you doing? If you're doing for self, if I'm doing for self that good, why would I keep begging you for money?
And they still selling bean pies?
I guess
like that's like the only healthy pies they can make.
I don't, you know.
I mean,
I don't know, you know. And going back, you know, before we close this out, going back to what you was talking about, you know, you showed your candle. Here I am. You know, I talk and say what I want that I say or whatever. I should have the right to my opinion. Plus, I earned it. When it comes to the Nation of Islam, I earned it. I gave you 7 years, almost 9 years or whatever. I have the right to say. I know you. It's not like we don't know each other. You do know me. People think that we strangers. Here comes some guy talking, man, I worked at Farrakhan's house, man. I stood right. I was willing to take a bullet for this man. You knew him personally. Yeah, I knew him personally. Worked out of his house. And then I was with the second guy in command, Brother Akbar. Oh, I was with him for real all the time. Matter of fact, I even got a video, and the brothers was jealous because Brother Akbar saw me, ain't seen me in years. He said, how you doing, brother? And you know, them Negroes standing around, who the hell is he? You know, Brother Akbar showing him love like that. Because I did the work before your ass did. Brother Akbar know who the hell I am. Crazy ass Negro. But this goes back to the bean pie. Okay, it don't make no difference how I think or whatever. I want to buy your bean pie. I want to buy your final car. But they more upset over what you think about. You talk about Farrakhan and you said this about Islam. Who give a damn? I'm trying to buy a damn pie from your ass. See how silly we are? It was a brother on Facebook. He was selling soap. And this was some expensive soap. I think like $15 for 20 bars. It was some expensive soap.
Okay.
Anyway, we had a conversation. He's another Muslim. And I'm done with the conversation. And I'm like, okay, brother, cool. How much is your soap? And you don't believe in Islam. This is the way we do things. And Elijah Muhammad taught. I asked you about your soap. I said I'm done with that conversation. It's over and done with.
Yeah, you want to get to business.
Yeah, you know, that's over and done with.
Right.
It was nice when it lasted. I'm glad you enjoyed the conversation. But now I would like to buy some of your soap. And he blocked me, wouldn't sell me no soap.
Wow.
See how silly.
Wow. Unbelievable. I told you, black folks are backward people, man.
Crazy.
Backward.
There's no way. There's no way. I don't care.
There's no winning.
You know, here I am. You selling this expensive soap. I don't even know if it's really worth the high price that you're selling it for, but I want to try your soap. But you're so upset because of my opinion about your religious ideals or whatever. You're gonna miss a sale, almost a $30 sale for your soap. Crazy.
Yeah, the white man don't operate like that.
They sure don't.
They don't.
See, he'll spit in your face, call you the N-word, and then turn around and shit sell you the damn underwear on your behind.
They don't care about that stuff. They ready to take your money. They don't care about that tripping off that stuff.
Yeah, they know the money is power. That's power.
You can probably go to some of them and say, you know, you're a devil. Yeah, that'll be $162.52.
Right.
And you know what? And black folks will buy it too.
Yeah,
They'll buy it too.
they ain't tripping off of that. And then they going to Disneyland the next day. You know, they got called me a devil yesterday. And they go and they're at Disneyland shaking hands with Mickey Mouse.
And the funny thing about it, they have places that black people can't. Well, they won't even allow black people to go. Like they have like those golf club places.
Yeah.
Like they have where no people of color could go in there. It's a
country club. A country club.
Yeah.
That still exists.
Yeah, it still exists. Not only
these people own businesses that black people spend their money to. Think about that.
Yeah, but until we change our mindset, until we accept the reality of the situation that we're in, nothing's going to change. And just like Elijah Muhammad said in his teachings, the only way things change is your mentality. If your mentality is only 50%, that's the only change you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
If your mentality is only 10%, that's the only change you're going to get.
True.
If you want 100% change, then that's your mindset that you have to have. So
the mind is like a diet.
Yeah.
You got to change your diet.
Yeah.
Right now, everybody got this obese mind.
Yeah.
And this is how you got to look at it. Treat your mind like you treat your body. You want to be healthy? Be positive.
Yeah.
Be positive. The greatest thing in the world is to share your knowledge, to share your wealth, and to share a helping hand to your people. Every race does it. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. When I see Indians and Europeans and Asians, when they help each other, they help their own people, I think that's a beautiful thing.
I do too.
African people can do the same thing, but we so much, I don't like Africans. I don't like Jamaicans. And everybody's separate. God damn, why every time, I can't go here because you're Caribbean, or I can't go because you're part of this tribe. Everybody's tribal.
Yeah.
And there's no unity. We could all learn from each other. If you say you could speak Swahili, I want to learn it.
Yeah.
If I know a language that you're not familiar, we could teach each other. And we're African people, always been type of people that we train each other and learn from one another to be great. That's how a nation can be.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in the room?
And with that said, brothers, we're gonna go ahead and call this a night. It was
all right, my brother.